Hello and welcome to Culture Shock, the pop culture podcast brought to you by four aging millennials and our outdated opinions. I'm your host, Doug, and with me as always is...
Hey, what's up? I'm Adrian, and eat slugs, Malfoy.
I'm Corey. Shouldn't have told you that.
And I'm Mike, and I solemnly swear that I am up to no good.
And if you haven't caught on, tonight we're going to talk about the Harry Potter series with the upcoming reunion special. We figured it'd just be a good time to talk about how it was perfect for especially our age range growing up, where we were all the same age. Without further ado, get ready, audience, because you're a wizard. So let's just start things off. Mike, I think you seem to be... I'm actually not sure. You might be the biggest Harry Potter guy here. I don't know. Let's find out. Let's start off with you. What are you looking forward to with this reunion coming up?
I mean, just seeing them all back together is going to be really awesome. I believe... I'm trying to remember how many in the cast it said are returning for this reunion. Do you guys remember?
47.
Is that an actual number? Because that's
No,
close.
not at all. Oh, okay, no. Is it that many?
It's a big ass list that they showed. It took 2 times showing the page for all the people.
Oh, wow.
I'm excited for all the new interviews because I've watched all the interviews on all the movies that have come out. So there's going to be new interviews. There's going to be people talking about what they're up to now. I'm super excited about it. Honestly, I can't wait.
Doug, I just all I want to say is I'm super fucking offended that you said Mike might be the biggest Harry Potter guy in this room. I'm so hurt by that. I can't even.
It's the way we talk about he seemed more excited for this than anything else we've really talked about. So I don't know.
I watch these movies almost as much as I watch Lord of the Rings every year. Actually, I might watch these through a couple times a year. My entire Christmas tree behind my computer right now is filled with Harry Potter ornaments. I'm obsessed with it.
All right, Mike, debate. Your turn. Are you a bigger fan? Go. Let's
make this a versus episode, Corey versus Mike.
This is one of the few book series that I've actually read from start to finish. I'm not a huge reader. There's very few series that I read, this being one of them, and the Dresden Files being the other. I've never been submerged into a book so much like I have been with the Harry Potter series.
They're amazing books. I've read them through and listened to them through quite a few times. And we're going to probably get into a little bit, there's so many differences.
Does make some moments in the movies a little upsetting. But for the most part, we've kind of talked about this before off podcast. That kind of thing, being cut out from the books, even though I feel a lot of it was more important, should have been in the movies. I could see why, for time-wise, they would have cut some of that stuff, to make way for more main story arcs.
And just real quick, Adrian, why don't you share your little caveat about this episode?
So I am going to be the lone member of I've only seen the movies. So for everybody listening to this...
Go team!
Go team! Go team Huffleclaw. No, I know a little bit, okay?
It's Slitherdoor.
Oh, Slitherdoor.
That's the best mix right there.
Gryffindor.
Is that like a doggy door for snakes? A slither door?
Nagini.
No, but
we're starting off strong tonight. Okay.
No, but yeah. So I have only seen the movies. I actually just got into the series 2 years ago as a full-grown man with no shame.
I have been trying to get him into these movies since we were young.
Wait. You just got into them 2 years ago?
I just put on the Philosopher's Stone in 2019.
Oh, God.
You weren't interested in that as a kid?
I don't know why. It didn't grab me. My cousin in school that I hung out with every day, who Mike knows very well, and obviously Corey knows, he's my brother, but she read all these books when they released. She bought them brand new. Corey loved the series. A lot of kids in school, a lot of my friend group loved the series. I fucking hated it.
He did.
Well, see, weirdly enough,
so against it.
In the 5th grade, me and Ty Miller,
everybody,
we
all
walked
of our
around with
listening
wands
audience
saying Harry Potter spells and shit during recess and stuff.
That's why you guys were fucking losers.
You were the cool kid.
I got sucked into this world because my 4th grade teacher decided that right after lunch every day she would read a chapter of the first book. And like, do you realize how hard that was, even as like a child, to be left on a cliffhanger every chapter?
It's so ridiculously hard, especially when these books, they get so deep into details that in one class period, you're probably not even through 2 chapters of just so deep into the world, and you haven't even left his house yet. You haven't even got to Hogwarts, and you're walking around school for a whole day just being like, what the... And this is back before internet. You couldn't just look everything up and spoil it for yourself. I mean, there was internet on computers, but you didn't have your phone in your pocket. You had to either go to the library and read these
Unless
things.
you only got into it 2 years ago, then you probably had your phone in your pocket.
Then you had all these things at your fingertips. But I remember Adrian, actually, I'm the first person he texted. He said, dude, I'm gonna watch them. I said, finally, you're gonna know the power of Harry Potter. And he was 3 movies in. He texted me again. He's like, Jesus, man, I can't believe I waited this long.
Prisoners, when you realize, these are pretty good.
That's when most people realize it.
Prisoners, when everybody realizes.
It's the first book that I consider to just be good. Like, the first
amazing.
2 were like okay, but like the third one is when it was like, I'm hooked.
Prisoners also the closest book to movie
Yes.
story.
Yeah, I think the length was just perfect for a movie.
Yeah.
And
Alfonso Cuarón.
that's why the first 3 movies had very little cut, other than like some of the more unnecessary.
Right.
Well, I shouldn't say unnecessary. Just the less
small details that you were able to cut. And
what you Doug call like the C storylines.
The less critical story elements were removed, like him going to school and them.
Yeah, the kids picking on him at school also.
And him teleporting to the roof by accident and not knowing how he got there.
There were a lot of little things that didn't need to be in the movie to move the story
or
along.
The entire day where we had to follow Uncle Vernon around to his work and buying donuts and seeing
God, I
people
would have
walking around.
hated that.
Are you kidding me? That would have been awesome.
It's literally how it starts.
Yeah, see, my problem with Harry Potter is I wanted more of the Dursleys.
Well, it's the day Voldemort stops. That's how the book starts.
Oh.
He's like driving. Yeah.
And he sees all these crazy people in like cloaks fucking partying basically in the streets.
He's just driving to work and he sees all this crazy shit. And then he gets home.
He's like, what the fuck?
He gets home and I believe Dumbledore and McGonagall are like standing outside looking at his house.
No,
he sees them in the books.
Oh yeah, that's true. But they don't come and leave Harry until the middle of the night.
Yeah.
But they were staking it out.
They were staking it out. And him and his wife actually notice it and talk about it in the book a little bit.
Because at the beginning of the movie, I believe you see McGonagall hanging out at the beginning, like as a cat.
She's a cat, yeah.
During the daytime. So she's like scouting it out in that way.
Yeah, they showed that part, but they didn't show the Dursleys noticing them. It was just small stuff like that they cut that really didn't change the story. Just for book fans, we noticed.
Yeah, the extent of my knowledge with this series back in school was my French teacher played Goblet of Fire for us, like during Christmas. And that's as much as I knew because there's like a French school in that, like that comes to Hogwarts.
So you got to see 45 minutes of a 4,000-hour long movie.
Well, it was played in multiple days.
Okay.
Like the week leading up to Christmas vacation.
Oh, and you had to watch it in French, didn't you?
Yes.
Oh.
And I knew nothing about the series, so I'm like, cool.
Adrian's in the back going, fuck this.
Right.
In the future, when we have a single French listener, sorry. But you don't listen yet, so we're making fun of the French.
I definitely... Yeah, because I didn't care about that series at all, I definitely skipped one of those days and probably smoked some weed with a couple friends.
That sounds about right for you.
Oh, I'm Adrian. I'm too cool to read Harry Potter. I gotta go smoke pots with my friends behind the bleachers.
I gotta smoke the pots.
But with all the movie details being cut out in the latter books, I was pretty happy with the fact that they split the last book into 2 movies because I read the last book in under 24 hours.
And that was a thick boy, right?
I literally did nothing but read for like the entire day. I stopped maybe for like a half hour to eat and get something to drink.
What kind of fan are you?
Do you guys remember when LCD screens first came out and they like burned your eyes if you looked at them too long?
Yeah.
My eyes.
I downloaded a PDF copy of the 7th book when it first came out because I didn't have it right away. and I read the entire thing on an old 15-inch LCD screen.
Yikes.
By the time I was done, I could see every line of text 3 times.
That's not good. And you
My
make fun
eyes
of
were
us for the
fucked up
Virtual
for
Boy.
like 3 days.
Doug now has the Deathly Hollows imprinted in his brain. And-
When he dies, that last memory they can look at your eyes and tell the last thing you saw. It's still going to be the
Doug
words of the Harry Potter book.
Is Doug the master of death?
No, he's pretty dead.
He's most of the way there, for sure.
I'm already dead inside. So.
It's like the meme of like poking with a stick, like, come on, do something. But Doug's just dead. Where's the resurrection
want to see
stone?
a dead body.
Ooh, callback. Adrian brought it back.
And the hook brings you back.
Yeah, but as far as the reunion coming up, or most likely already passed, I'm definitely excited for it. There's people, there's like these joy kills. It's the same kind of people with like the Friends reunion, where they're like, we've seen them talking about Friends for the last 20 years. Why do we need to see this reunion? But like that was just nostalgia, that was good times. So I'm really excited to see this Harry Potter reunion. Absolutely.
I think it's more about seeing them in Hogwarts again all together.
Yeah.
This many years later. And
The return to Hogwarts.
Obviously, they've all answered questions like separately in interviews.
But seeing their chemistry together, like the little snippet we got of Ron and
Chemistry, you mean alchemy.
Oh, sorry.
Come on now.
I'm leaving.
The chemistry between Emma Watson
Alchemy. Wahoo.
God damn it.
and Rupert Grint just talking to each other it's palpable. You can feel it just watching that clip. They still really love each other. And I just want to see all that. Like, and Gary Oldman, they show him real quick sitting on a couch, kind of holding Harry Potter's shoulder. I know his name's not Harry Potter. Daniel Radcliffe's shoulder. Sorry, to me he's Harry Potter. But he's like
I know his name's not Harry Potter.
He's like
Daniel
holding his
Radcliffe's
shoulder,
like, God damn it.
almost like a father figure or something. And I
I saw the picture. I saw the picture literally like with his hand on his heart, like in the movie.
Yeah.
Just because you made the joke, Daniel Radcliffe actually loves being referred to as like Harry Potter, and that people know him as Harry Potter.
He does. He's one of few like actors out there that love being associated with his most iconic role.
And he's totally still capable of going out and having other roles without being like totally tortured by this role that made him famous.
I
loved him.
Is a really good movie.
That's a fucking weird movie.
Hey, Harrison Solo or Hans Ford, whatever your name is.
Hans Ford.
You should learn a lesson from this guy. Stop freaking out.
Whoa. Oh, you mean like how he doesn't like being associated with that character?
There's rumors that they're making a Han Solo series with Chewbacca.
I thought you were saying Harrison Ford like is only known as Han Solo. I'm like, whoa.
No, he just hates the Han Solo character.
We don't got to get into why he shouldn't be known for anything. But anyway.
Wow.
Oh, God damn it. Doug doesn't like Harrison Ford.
I mean, he's more known for 6 Days, 7 Nights, but...
Of course. That classic Harrison Ford and Heche.
Air Force One?
Well, he is known for that.
That's an actual good movie.
Mike, comedy's all about mentioning the shit movies.
Oh, that's
Patriot.
how that works. Did you say Patriot?
The Patriot was a shit movie?
Wait, The Patriot is your go-to shitty movie?
You're hitting all the wrong places.
Yeah, that's your go-to? Have you seen The Last Jedi?
Oh yeah, he is in that.
He's not in that.
I just know.
Oh,
Corey
wait,
and-
Yes,
Actually,
he is.
Yeah, he is in.
I just know Corey and Doug really like The Last Jedi. So that was my go-to shitty movie.
It is very good.
No, wait, the one I should have said Firewall.
It's literally my favorite Star Wars movie.
I should have
Let's
said
move past
Firewall.
that. Let's move past that.
So Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
It's my favorite of the new
All right.
series. I'll give you
So
that.
I'm gonna edit the last 3-4 minutes out. Anyway, back to the topic.
Yeah, so Harry Potter playing Daniel Radcliffe.
Exactly.
Something I'm really looking forward to.
Just like Peter Parker plays Tobey Maguire.
Exactly. The Peter Parker. And anyway, okay, we're gonna get derailed a couple times here.
I feel like Mike's gonna Tom Holland the situation and accidentally say something that Doug's gonna be pissed about.
I will
getting
fucking
so
end
close.
this and go do something else. If a single
No,
word is
I was just
uttered,
I was doing that because Adrian called everybody Tobey Maguire in the Spider-Man episode.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
He was
if
on my
anything
brain.
accidentally gets slipped out,
Listen, I'm not going to tell you that Rey's a Palpatine, okay?
Well, what if there's listeners that still haven't watched The Rise of Skywalker? Then I guess that would be their fault, wouldn't it?
Adrian. That's impossible. That doesn't
That's
happen.
impossible. And if it was spoiled at that point, I mean, I guess they had it coming. All right, so what do you guys want to do? Should we get right into some heated topics here, some questions?
I think we could. Hold on, real quick. You guys all took your Pottermore quizzes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it in front of you.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. What was your houses?
You don't remember?
I think you
I'm
all should say it
Slytherin. You're
yourself.
Slytherin. Mike. I mean, Corey is Gryffindor and he's Hufflepuff.
I'm a reluctant
right.
Hufflepuff.
I'm a proud Gryffindor.
You know what? I think that I think that Pottermore quiz is a bunch of bullshit. It's a conspiracy, okay? It's a conspiracy.
It's only bullshit because I've known you guys long enough to know we're all fucking Slytherins, but
Yeah.
I'm not.
you're definitely a Slytherin.
I'm more like a Ravenclaw.
You're the intellect of a Ravenclaw with the arrogance of a Slytherin.
The cunning. The word you were looking for is the cunning.
No, I pronounced arrogance right.
Yes, Doug, you are a cunt.
Whoa!
Mike, I'm gonna be real. I think you're the only person in this group with an issue with the word cunt.
Yeah, they say it all the time over there.
Watch some British TV and you'll forget them all.
We're all allowed to say the C word.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
No, that was a good pause, guys. Thank you for the pausing after you said that.
I don't like it.
We do those, like, we know how to plan those out now. Like, let's just make him look like an idiot.
There will be people that appreciate that I don't like it.
I was just going to say, I only have, really, it's not a laundry list reasons that I don't like being a Hufflepuff. It's only 4 reasons.
That's
Justice,
a lot.
loyalty, patience, and hard work. None of those are me.
This is just the
Those are the 4 things that I am not.
None of the people listening have access or privy to the behind the scenes stuff like editing and that, but he's right.
where I'm constantly abandoned.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, no, that's not me at all.
Hey, we're gonna meet back up at 2:15. Yeah, sounds good. Oh man, me 7 minutes overdue because it was busy where I went to get food. He never came back.
Yeah, I never fell asleep.
And he was never seen again.
He was never seen again. But he would not return.
And that was just a sneak peek that you'll get someday if we ever set up a Patreon.
Or if we ever release those episodes.
And you think we're worth giving any amount of money to for any.
But the good news is our Christmas should be out by 2022, Christmas time.
I think we missed Christmas this year, guys. I think that's the unfortunate.
It's good. We already have an episode for next year.
I don't even remember filming a Christmas episode. So.
Did we do a Christmas episode?
Yeah, we talked about how much I hate dogs in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And how much Corey hates Chevy Chase.
Yes.
I bet he'd get more flack for hating Chevy Chase than I will for hating dogs.
Oh no, that's a tough
No,
one.
when we start to get more people listening, I highly doubt that.
Dogs are so fucking beloved. It's
Do
crazy.
you know how many people out there are like you can't trust somebody who's not a dog person?
But there are 50% of the population hates Chevy Chase for who he is. So,
Oh, for who he is.
Hey, Adrian, there's Corey and his magical,
Corey and his random statistics.
totally made up statistics with Corey.
83% of the time.
That's a skit. That can be a skit. Corey's made up statistics, Adrian's fun facts,
Hey.
Mike out of context.
I always say percentages and stuff.
Are they real?
He's-
Between all of our side things, I think we might have a podcast. What are we doing right now?
Let's break off from us 4 and start a podcast with us 4.
Okay.
I like it.
Let's drop the dead weight.
Been trying to do that for years. It just keeps pounding on.
Then Thanksgiving comes around again.
Thanks for giving me these curves.
Hey.
All right, that was some bad humor. Now let's get back to it.
I just wanted to touch on that real quick. Now we can talk about controversial things, Adrian.
We don't gotta rush away from the. You brought up the Pottermore quiz.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to.
Yeah, because I actually had some questions about the first.
Oh, all right.
Corey, if you want to start, what house did you get, and do you agree with it, and why?
I got Gryffindor, and being the fan of this I am, and the fan of the books that I am, I kind of agree with that because really I'm sometimes loyal to a fault to people. I'd give the shirt off my back for anybody who needs it in a pinch. I get emotional when I see videos of people really helping somebody, or soldiers coming home to people, dogs seeing their owners for the first time in a month. I tear up a little bit. I mean, I got that side of me. Slytherin sounds like a shitload more fun. I think I would enjoy it there more, but I'm definitely a Gryffindor. I can't deny it.
Hey, Snape cried that one time.
Only to give him a memory.
He literally had to force tears out of himself. He's like,
He cried when Lily died too.
Always.
He actually put his hand in his pocket with some tweezers and started yanking.
The Joey Tribbiani trick.
The Joey Tribbiani technique. Alan Rickman learned from Joey Tribbiani.
It's true.
Even though he was acting before.
Yeah, you know that episode of Friends with Bruce Willis? That was Alan Rickman the whole time.
Whoa, there's some kind of connection there.
Alan Rickman's good, man.
What if Bruce Willis and Alan Rickman were in a movie together? Whoa, that would be whoa.
Well, it can't happen now.
No.
Hey, well,
Yeah, I
no,
think we missed that opportunity.
Nobody would like that movie.
I think that opportunity fell off some sort of tower.
fell off a
Yeah.
tower.
Yep.
Always.
Mr. Potter.
That's what he said when he was falling off the Nakatomi Plaza. Always. I don't know why.
We'll have more bad Snape impressions later on. I
Oh,
promise.
absolutely.
Mike, about
Yes.
the Pottermore quiz. House did you get? Do you agree with what? Do you like it, and why?
Absolutely, I like it. Of course, I'm a Slytherin. The 4 qualities: ambition, resourcefulness, determination, and cleverness.
Nah.
I don't necessarily think that I have all of those, but I'm very ambitious, and I don't necessarily call it clever, but I'm extremely sarcastic.
You
And
fall in
I'm
line.
kind of a dick.
kind of a dick.
I'm not gonna lie, kind of a dick.
They had us in the first half.
Well, I read all of the categories, or all the identifiers for all 4 houses, and I have quite a few of them from every house, so it's hard to pin me, really.
There are some people that say it's okay to be 2 houses, which I don't agree with.
Well, the hat himself even says it. Like,
Fuck that. No, I'm kidding.
it gives him the choice,
Fuck
even
the
though the
rules.
hat,
Fuck the game. Fuck you tools. Fuck your lane.
even though the hat feels like Slytherin would have been a good fit for Harry, he still gives him the choice.
I have a follow-up question to that after Doug, you answer yours.
Well, let's get Adrian's first. And then
He already
I'll do
said he
mine.
hates
He already
us.
did his.
I hate it.
That's true.
I'm not
I wasn't sure
Hufflepuff.
if that was a regular joke or not. Okay.
No, I don't like the fact.
He's like, who the fuck's Hufflepuff?
Wait. You
Listen.
actually were given Hufflepuff.
I was a Hufflepuff, but
Did you read the questions? Because I know better. I know you better than
I said I wanted power.
I put power for that one
gave you
too.
the Huffle power.
It gave me a Huffle power. Wait,
Hufflepuff power.
was-
baby.
was-
Is that like
was Luna a Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff?
she was a Ravenclaw?
Fuck.
Luna was not a Ravenclaw; she was a Hufflepuff.
Pretty sure she was a Hufflepuff, yo.
Yeah.
Look it up.
The only Ravenclaw they really talk about, and they don't even mention her in the books, is
I was right. She's a Ravenclaw.
She's a Ravenclaw.
Oh yeah,
I
because
think
she's the one that knows about
She's smart
Yep.
as shit.
the diadem.
How dare you?
oh, she is the one that tells him about that.
Yep.
Cedric Diggory, I think, was a Hufflepuff. So I'm pretty much Robert Pattinson.
And look at that. He died. Hufflepuff suck.
My boy.
That's my boy. Wait, fan theory. What if they brought Robert Pattinson in one movie too late? He should have fought Lupin the werewolf. They could have had something there.
God, we'll never know.
Our really fucking young Robert Pattinson was the character of Sirius Black, and he just so he could fight a werewolf.
Oh my god.
Gary Oldman could have done it if he wanted to.
What he really said to Harry before he got that port key, he didn't say, "Take my body back to my father." He said, "I'm Batman."
Vengeance.
I'm vengeance.
I'm vengeance.
Oh, yeah, I'm vengeance.
He doesn't even do a fucking lame voice.
No,
He's
not
really
really.
great.
I mean, he has a deep voice, but it's not like a weird like.
He's changing it enough without not wearing a keeping.
he's not ruining his throat.
But what I do, that defines me.
He has to take a breath every 2 words.
Is that why you guys take such deep breaths constantly? Is it because you're impersonating Batman all the time?
Are we Batmen?
No, this voice that I have right now is actually not my real voice. I do this.
This is your podcast voice? Hello, Sydney.
My real voice is actually this. All right, isn't it that, eh?
Why wouldn't you use that voice for the Harry Potter episode?
That was awful.
I hate everything about that.
I wish people could have seen his face too when he was going, "All right, isn't it?"
It's not better the second time.
I was the BBC Brit.
It never gets any better.
See, folks, Corey doesn't show a lot of like facial expression. He'll laugh and like smile here and there. For the most part, we think he's frozen half of the time.
I'm very
Very
focused on this
still.
podcast, guys.
So when he makes a face, like
It's
fucks us up.
It fucks us. It's one of 12 similarities Corey has with a statue. But we'll go over the rest of the list in another episode when we do our episode about statues.
To hear the other 11, contribute to our Patreon.
That doesn't
doesn't
exist.
exist.
Wow, that's an enticing pull right there.
Shit.
Now I'm going to have to come up with 11 other ways I am like a statue.
For only $20 a month, you can hear how Corey's like a statue, and that's all we do every month.
Oh man,
I can't believe I'm going to have to come up with 11 more fucking ways I'm like a statue now.
we'll just come up with them over time and slip them in episodes.
Wahoo!
Speaking of slipping them in episodes.
Speaking of moving on,
Wait, Doug, you didn't do yours, did you?
I know exactly. I was gonna say, back to the Pottermore quiz. I expected one of two, and it gave me Slytherin. I was curious if it would give me Ravenclaw or Slytherin. I wasn't sure which, but it gave me Slytherin because I'm gonna Zuckerberg these guys someday with this podcast.
You pretentious douchebag.
We all see it coming. It's fine.
They knew what they signed up for.
We'll start our own podcast.
Whenever he splits off, we're just going to start our own podcast. So.
With blackjack and hookers.
For those who've been zucked, the podcast.
Well, listen, I'm really sorry for Mike and Corey's loss, but if Doug takes the podcast away when we at least have a following, you can still go watch me over at Baker Reviews on YouTube.
Where you will see
true.
me in the comments.
I might be there too, but
Mike's talking shit in my comments.
I have been the last couple of weeks.
My number one fan.
Yeah. It's been a second since I looked at the what dictates each one's. Does anybody know what was listed for Ravenclaw?
Ravenclaw is wisdom, wit, and intellect.
And then what's listed for Slytherin?
Ambition, resourcefulness, cunning, clever. Which makes me wonder why. Oh, finish your thing first, but
I don't know. Am I more Slytherin or more Ravenclaw? Or am I a Gryffindor?
I know Mike doesn't like the whole two houses thing, but you're kind of a little bit of both those houses.
I don't. I think it's a cop out.
That's
but
my whole point, though, is the identifiers they have for those houses. It's like a horoscope, man. You can put any broad thing and say, you are a person who likes to make money and go out and have fun with people. No shit. That's 95% of people.
Total Slytherin.
oh, I'm a Pisces. It says today I will breathe.
Shit, I'm a Cancer and it says I got cancer.
Damn, they called that.
So talking about the houses and not enjoying the fact that I don't like the idea of mixing two of them. Do you guys think that the Sorting Hat should have put Harry in Slytherin, or do you believe that the only reason he had Slytherin as a good choice is because he was a Horcrux himself?
I think it did sense Voldemort in him and maybe didn't know the extent of it because the Sorting Hat isn't that powerful. So I think maybe it felt the Slytherin within him and that feeling or whatever the hat has, the whatever power it has to feel where you're supposed to be. I think it was feeling more Voldemort than anything.
I don't know. Harry displays a lot of like ambitious, cunning, like willing to do what he's got to do.
Yeah, but did you see how boring he was once he wasn't a Horcrux anymore? I think that was all Voldemort.
I mean, to be fair, that wasn't very long to see him
He
that way.
had a Dragon Ball Z fight after he wasn't a Horcrux anymore.
Yeah, but that's because of all the practice he had. But that last thing when his kid is going to Hogwarts, he's like got a beer gut and he's balding. I mean, he's not that Harry Potter anymore.
And he didn't keep the Elder Wand.
Draco Malfoy was looking rough.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, the way that they like tried to age them was really bad.
That's always been controversial. A lot of people didn't like how they aged them in the end of that movie.
They all looked terrible.
You look at how they've actually aged.
Dude, they all look fucking great. Even Rupert Grint looks great, and people talk about him all the time.
That's like 19 years later, so hypothetically they're around like 36. They look like they're like 50.
I know. I'm 35 right now, and I look great.
It's like, who the hell's idea was this?
Mike looks exactly like Tom Felton at the end of the part 7.
So for our people that don't know what we look like, Mike looks like Tom Felton in the epilogue. No, that's rough. I can't even.
I look more like Tom Felton in the epilogue.
Now, how do you guys feel about the epilogue? Do you? I mean, I don't know if it was probably in the books.
It was in the books, yeah.
And it's about as short.
I think Harry gave his kid the worst name ever concocted.
Absolutely.
Dumb name.
And furthermore, I think that the epilogue was really just all playing to the fans because it was 100% unnecessary.
Yeah, I think they could have literally cut that movie right before the epilogue, like when it fades to black with Harry, Hermione, and Ron.
I liked it personally. I just thought that kid's name was so bad. Seeing the fact that Draco at least acknowledged that, yo, we're cool. Shit like that.
Trying to kill each other for years.
I mean, I liked it. I'm just saying that it was super unnecessary. Like, it was 100% like just playing to the fans. It was not needed at all.
Why do you hate nice things, Mike?
Because I'm dead inside. And I'm a dick.
Mike doesn't always hate fan service. We did just see a movie that does that pretty well.
What a fucking Slytherin thing to say.
Mike's such a Hufflepuff, though.
Whatever.
No, wait, I'm a Hufflepuff. Oh.
Adrian's the Hufflepuff.
Sorry.
I only hate it so much because the name.
Hufflepuff.
It reminds me of Kirby.
I feel like I'm the pink fucking Pokemon.
That's Jigglypuff, and Jigglypuff is the shit.
Now I'll take Wigglytuff.
Hufflepuff is Jigglypuff who developed a smoking problem.
Oh, I'm okay with that. That makes it sound kind of cool.
That does fit Adrian, actually.
And for people that don't see the video, I look like Jigglypuff with a smoking problem.
Adrian basically looks like Frank Gallagher.
God damn. We are painting some drastic pictures for our audience.
Holy shit.
Mike and Corey are both Tom Felton 19 years later. I'm Frank Gallagher.
I actually look more like Snorlax.
No, what I wanted to ask about the houses, though, I understand why they did it in the movie, but doesn't Hermione seem like more of a Ravenclaw?
Oh, 100%.
Right. Like, to me, that just seems more fitting. And I don't think she asked the Sorting Hat to be put into Gryffindor.
I think hers is pure loyalty.
Well, there's that, and even though she's, you hear her say the things like, "I'm gonna go to bed before either one of you, either one of you gets us expelled or worse, dead, or whatever the hell she says."
Dead or worse, expelled.
I fucked that up. My bad. She's willing to help them out, so she has the courage. Like, she's still gonna do it. She's not gonna let her friends die, even though she thinks it's a terribly dumb idea. So I think that the Gryffindor thing is fitting for her, but if she were to be sorted into a different house, yes, I think that it would have been Ravenclaw.
All right, that's fair. But no, she's totally a Ravenclaw.
Honestly, I've always seen the houses as a pretty weak
Nah,
system.
bro, your opinion sucks.
No, it sucks.
Mostly like the people that are in them a lot of them don't fit the bill. It's like they were just put in a different house, so all the main characters weren't Gryffindor or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, literally every main character aside from Draco is Gryffindor.
And Luna.
Eventually Luna, but that's what, in the 5th movie? In 5th book, I assume, probably.
Well, you gotta think about it this. The reason why every main character is mostly in Gryffindor is because the story is about Harry Potter and he's in Gryffindor.
But they could have given some of the other houses a little bit of love.
I think they do it a little bit better in the book than the movies, at least.
You even find out a bunch of like the other Quidditch teams, like members and everything in the books. Like
hell, they wrote a Weasley out of the movies after the first movie.
Yeah,
Percy just never came
he's
back.
just completely gone.
Did Percy like graduate or something, or was
He's
still
in every book.
Oh, is he?
Him and his dad have a massive falling out.
Is he a Death Eater, or is he just? I can't remember if he's like a Death Eater or if he's a.
He's just a pretentious ponce.
No. He was super loyal. He was loyal to the Ministry.
The Ministry, that's what it was. Not
over
not Voldemort.
everything.
He was loyal to the Ministry.
Yeah, he was like, Harry's a douchebag. Voldemort's not back.
Percy's a douche.
Yes,
kind of.
What I know,
Percy
of
is
him.
a douche. Yes.
There was random things that were in the first movie, then they cut after the fact, and I always thought that was weird.
At least Bill showed up. You know, Bill the Weasley.
Yes, Mike, the one who got married. We know.
I'm not letting you guys do that little pause thing anymore. I'm not doing it. I'm not letting it happen.
Doug, if you see that little gap of silence, that's more than enough.
Yeah, okay.
In the power of editing, Doug can make it even longer.
I can add silence after.
Doug could even add cricket noises if he wanted.
I'm quitting this podcast.
Which I'm 100% going to start doing one day. Because I love keeping jokes that fall flat. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think the Bill thing was a joke. It was a thing.
Mike was just
It's
throwing
like-
out a
it's-
fun fact there.
Just rake him across the coals for
I
it.
wasn't trying to be funny.
We treated it like he just fucking tanked.
It's a good thing you weren't trying to be funny, because it wasn't. I wasn't making a joke, obviously.
Wow, Mike, you fucking idiot.
Why couldn't the jalapeno shoot the bow? But it's because he didn't have an arrow. Get it? Have an arrow? See, the
I
joke
almost just
is...
spit water all over my computer.
Who would spit any sort of liquid all over their, like...
What an idiot.
Fucking idiot.
All right, so let's talk about it. Richard Harris, Michael Gambon. Who's the better Dumbledore?
Oh, see, here's one of the big issues I have.
Which one's which? I forget which
Richard
one's which.
Gambon's in the first three.
First two.
Sorry, Richard Harris. I said Richard Gambon. I make
Personally, I preferred Richard Gambon.
Whoever the first one was, I don't think his role was big enough at that point to really have any impact. That's why changing it really didn't make any difference to me personally.
I do believe that Richard Harris was probably better suited for it just because he had the more calm tone. And in the books, Dumbledore is a calm person. Like, he's never like yelling at anybody.
Except when he does.
Yeah, but in the movies, he yells at people all the time.
I almost said Richard Gambon again. Damn it.
See, I didn't see him like that when I read the books. I didn't see him that way, Mike.
Michael Gambon was too like punk rock grandpa, where Richard Harris was like a warm presence who could be thunderous if he had to be, which is what Dumbledore should be.
Right, with that, he did the silence thing, and that actually worked really well.
The silence thing was Michael Gambon, though.
God damn it.
To me, that's where I disagree. I think Richard Harris was perfect for the first two movies because they were a little more kind of their young adolescent years. I don't see Richard Harris doing the badass scenes in the later
No, he
movies.
couldn't have done that.
Yeah, like the final movies, all the stuff Dumbledore had to do, the guy that was Dumbledore was perfect for that.
Yeah, Michael Gambon did those perfectly.
I think Michael Gambon had a hiccup with the Goblet of Fire.
Yeah, I don't understand why he screamed at Harry.
Did you put your name in the goblet, Harry?
It was way out of character.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Goblet of Fire, I would easily say I like Michael Gambon more. I think I still do lean towards him. But I think they were both perfect for the movies they were in.
The actors changing didn't take anything away from me. So
No, not at all. But I can actually put an actor in that role that would have been perfect for both sides of that character.
Keanu Reeves.
Robert Pattinson.
No,
Robert
no,
Alan Rickman.
Richard Gambon.
Richard Gambon, yeah.
Richard Gambon. Oh, that dude would have fucking nailed both
Or Michael
parts.
Harris. You could do either one.
Michael Harris.
They're both very good.
Michael Harris sounds like it's probably the name of like 12 actors. It's so damn generic.
Christopher Michael Douglas Hackman.
Oh, are we talking about Harry's son's name again?
Why didn't he give fucking Hagrid any love when he was naming his son?
No shit.
Hagrid was the one that was always watching, like looking out for him.
Should have like at least named, but his middle name should have been Rubius.
Yeah. Now Hagrid was a little like ignorant in the fact that all these dangerous animals, he never thought they were harmful.
I shouldn't have said that.
Come on, everybody knows that like that hippie girl that like loves snakes and bats and spiders and all that shit that'll fucking kill you. So.
Oh, hello, Harry Potter. I love Luna. That's my girl.
She's one of my favorites.
See, I was talking about Hagrid.
I know, but you said the hippie chick, and I
know.
I want to throw out a fun fact about Hagrid that bothered me for some reason. It's such a small, stupid detail, but from the books to the movies, it never mentions in the movies that Hagrid got his flying bike from Sirius Black. It bothers me.
Oh,
It's just a small, stupid detail, but
Yeah, I
it's
didn't know
Sirius's
that.
bike.
Because Sirius was a badass motherfucker. That was his motorcycle and everything.
They also barely go into any of Hagrid's like family backstory. Like when Dumbledore's looking for people to join his army,
He goes off on an adventure to find giants.
and that's like a decent part of the story.
And and he brings his brother back with
They
him.
do
and
show
everything.
that part, yeah. And like that's the only thing they bring into it.
He takes the tall lady, Lady Demetresque.
yeah, exactly. Lady D.
But anyway, he takes her with him in the books to find the giants. Like there's a whole adventure where he goes with her and can't bring any of them back because they
Wait.
don't trust him.
Corey, Lady D. So we have our vampire for Robert Pattinson to fight. No, wait. He's the vampire.
He is a vampire.
God damn it.
Hey.
I haven't watched the Twilight movies.
And I never will. Anyway,
I like the Twilight movies.
well, when you have to do your first solo man episode, you got a topic there.
one man episode.
I'll do a one-man episode about Twilight. Fuck
It's
it.
going to be all about true crime and Twilight.
That's right.
Instantly becomes our most liked video.
Corey, I'll tell you what. We'll do a 2-man episode. I'll just ask you a bunch of questions and I'll shit on it, and you can defend it.
I like that. We'll call it the hot seat.
We'll call it Hot Ones, and you guys can eat hot
Whoa,
chicken
guys.
wings.
I think
I'm
I
not
think we
stealing
have
anything
something.
from that man. He's
Hello and welcome to Culture Shocked, the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. Today I'm joined by Corey from Culture Shocked.
I'm joined by Corey from Culture Shocked. I'm Adrian from Culture Shock.
So when you're going into planning an episode, okay, never mind.
Dude, you're literally there every time.
How do you prepare yourself?
And then Adrian can do this.
Corey, you've often been called the Snorlax of Culture Shocked.
That is true.
Corey, would you say?
Is
would
it
it be fair to say?
I have a better one. Give me that line again.
I'm ready to go.
You think people say that to him during Hot Ones? Like, no, I have a better response. Ask it again.
They would keep it. They would 100% keep that on camera, though.
Right.
They would just keep that in.
Maybe I guarantee there's some editing in that.
The reason I like leaving our fuck ups in is because of Hot Ones. Like, it's so enjoyable to see like the silly mistakes. I just figured it would fly.
Wait, did you say the reason you like to keep our mistakes in is Hot Ones?
Yes,
Wait, how do those connect?
because they just like you'll constantly hear like fucking actors be like, "Oh, I hope that was okay."
Oh,
you probably can't
okay, I
use
see
this
what you're
all,"
saying.
and leave it in anyway. Like, and it's like I love it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I love it.
Oh no, I just like every episode we've done has been a huge mistake. A colossal.
That's
And I
kind of
just
it's kind of our
leave it in.
thing.
We're just here fucking off.
The hour and a half you guys get is cut down from about 3.5 hours. So
I have a question for everybody.
Okay.
Favorite movie / book, and if they're different, you can tell me. Corey.
what about favorite and least favorite?
Okay, yeah.
And it pains me to even say that because I love them all so much.
And why?
Well, fuck your why. I'm just going to tell you.
Just giving you the cold hard facts here.
I'm giving you the facts. You can sleep on them.
This is culture facts.
We need a sound to go into that.
Culture facts.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
They're just there. Favorite actually for both is Prisoner of Azkaban. First of all, because it brings Sirius into the movies, and Gary Oldman's just a fucking genius.
Great actor.
I love everything the dude does, and he's just so scary when he's in that room, and you think he's trying to kill Harry. He's just so hell bent on getting to him, and you think the whole time that he's just wants to kill this kid, and it's terrifying.
Peter Pettigrew.
The whole twist, the rat the whole time has
saying that.
been Peter Pettigrew, and I don't know. That whole movie is just perfect.
How fucked up is it that a grown-ass man was pretending to be a rat with a underage child?
Yeah.
For a long time, too. How many times did he watch Ron masturbate?
I will say that's probably my most watched movie.
Ron Master.
Where did you
Yeah.
find that?
Oh, wankers.
Bloody hell. Oh, man. Okay.
Well, that video is a bit of all right.
A little bit all right. Anyway, yeah, Sirius was really, I think I was actually really impressed with that twist that he actually wasn't
Yeah.
the fucking murderer. Like, he was built up to be like obvious villain, and the show wasn't like, I mean, not show, but the series wasn't really known as like the big twit and like Shyamalan shit. So that was a pretty good 180.
The fact that Lupin was also a werewolf and you didn't know. I mean, there were clues, but you didn't really know. And then they fight each other. And then you find out they're friends and they've known each other forever. They knew Harry's parents, I guess. They knew both of them.
For a minute, when Harry thinks that they're both gonna murder all three of them.
You just get so much information in that movie. So much like twist information in one movie. And then one of my favorite moments from any of the movies actually comes from that one. It's when Snape comes out to punish them, sees the werewolf, and protects them. He turns around and instantly dives in front of them, puts him behind him, and pulls his wand up.
That's called foreshadowing.
Yeah. It's a beautiful moment that even this guy you think is probably the main villain of the whole series still wants to protect them.
Yeah, that had to be surprising for a lot of like the movie.
Just the moviegoers, yeah.
Yeah, Adrian, actually, that's a good point. When you saw that scene, how like was it surprising to you to see Snape like
Oh, for sure.
protect them?
Like, especially after Harry fucking hit him with that spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harry fucked him up. Yeah, it was definitely surprising. I always felt, not knowing the story of these movies, I felt like obviously, which I think they wanted you to feel, there's a little more going on to Snape's character than they're putting on. Because he's clearly, like, at least for the first few movies, he's clearly put on as the bad guy. And there's just something about his character that felt like there's something beneath the surface. Like, I didn't know the fucking twist that would come in the final movie.
That's a valid point. Like, with Adrian having only seen the movies, like, he actually got to experience the twists that we already kind of knew were coming.
But to be fair, reading them was just as exciting.
Oh, absolutely.
I was curious what it was like going through the movies without any.
Yeah,
Because without not knowing the differences, it's gonna paint a different picture for you. But I was just curious.
Doug, it's kind of how me and you go into most comic book movies. I mean,
Yeah,
we know a
exactly.
lot of what's going to happen already, but it's still exciting to see it.
Yeah, oh, yeah, for sure. I'm not saying it's not. It's just like, yeah, what's it like seeing these things without any idea? Like, I can't really understand.
They definitely set it up great. Like, even from the first movie, like that entire runtime, you had no idea that Professor Quirrell was actually the one sabotaging these kids.
He's just this unassuming, stuttering teacher that didn't seem like there was anything about the guy really, except that he stared at Harry a little too long sometimes.
Right.
The Quidditch scene they set up with making it look like Snape was fucking shit up. They did it perfectly.
Yeah, when it looked like
Yeah.
Snape was casting the spell, like jinxing Harry's broom during Quidditch.
And you didn't really notice when she catches his robe on fire. You don't really notice Quirrell also breaking concentration during the scene till later when it's shown.
That's another twist. They had a lot of them actually.
They're good at twisting the movie.
All right, so Mike, favorite book, movie, whatever. And
Corey, did you say least favorite?
Oh wait, no, he didn't. Yeah,
Corey,
you're right.
You didn't say what your least favorite. Is.
Let's
I was just gonna say
spin this record backwards.
probably the Sorcerer's Stone. As much as I love these movies,
Really?
the first one does the least for me because
I hate you.
It's too kiddie for me, I think. I like
do you
when
have
it gets
against
a little
them
more
kids?
serious. Okay. Anyway, I like when it gets a little more serious in the movies. Doug, can you add some extra space there before I say that?
Mike, if only you knew the amount of thought we put into the space we leave after certain things.
Trust me, please. It's like saying, well, which one's your favorite and least favorite of Infinity War and Endgame? Because for me, having to pick a least favorite does not mean I don't love every second of it, because I do.
Infinity War is clearly better, but
It is a tad bit better, yes.
Yeah.
Because Endgame drags on in some spots where Infinity War is exciting the whole way through. But to me, those are two very equal movies.
This isn't an episode of podcast on how to piss Doug off the fastest, so let's get back to Harry Potter.
I literally just said that to see if I got any like reaction from anybody. That is my opinion, but that's my boy. That's my boy.
Doug, add a little more space there after that.
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
Let's let Corey finish telling us why Harry Potter 1 sucks.
Dude, I literally...
He's done.
I literally couldn't... It was just because it was a little too juvenile. It was the least... I don't know how to explain it. It was the least gritty movie. Even though it's beautiful, and the Christmas side of me loves the first movie because it was very bright and magical. It's the least...
The stakes just weren't high enough.
Yeah, exactly. They were... Even the fight with Quirrell at the end didn't seem that bad.
Yeah, no.
The first one definitely like dived into the lore of all the Harry Potter, like the Harry Potter world, a lot more than the rest of them did. So I could also see why that might, because it would drag on a little bit.
The fight with Quirrell, the dude literally disintegrated.
Are you trying to say the fight with Quirrell was kind of like anticlimactic?
It's anticlimactic. Well, we have Mike's new name for Discord. Anticlimactic.
Anticlimactic.
Yeah, whatever.
But yes, it is very anticlimactic. And compared to the fight with Tom Riddle, the next time he fights somebody, it's a pretty big fucking difference. He fights a giant goddamn snake.
The basilisk.
So, I mean, when you really think about all the fights that Harry had in the movies, Quirrell
That's actually really valid.
Quirrell was a very easy first boss. Let's put it
It
that
was
way.
pretty insignificant.
And the biggest dramatic scene of him fighting Quirrell was when the spirit, or whatever you want to call it, of Voldemort going through him, and he goes, in slow motion.
It falls like,
So it's not really...
Hey, this was around the time of 300. Okay, let's give it a break.
A sign of the times.
If you slow down that scene, actually, Voldemort says, "This is Hogwarts," and he kicks him. But you have to slow it down.
I was watching a video of this guy talking about, he's like, I don't know why it's so funny. He's like, but the way Daniel Radcliffe yells in these movies, like, it's just, if you go and watch this guy's video of all of them put together, it's so fucking funny.
It's kind of like this, the way someone yells when they don't know how to pretend to yell. So it sounds super fake.
It's like trying to act natural for a picture.
Yeah.
As soon as you say act natural, you're like, wait, what do I do?
Chandler.
What do I do with my hands?
Yeah, Chandler is a good example of that.
Every time we fucking try to record, we have a million words to say, but as soon as we hit that play, it's like we forgot everything.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I don't know what to do with this podcast.
Yeah.
And to see that he doesn't know what to do with his hands, check out his YouTube channel and take your reviews.
No, he
Hey,
does
make
a
a
lot.
review
He does a
on
lot with his hands in those videos.
Whoa.
Oh, that's on my other channel.
No, that's
his
on
OnlyFans.
That's on his Pornhub
On his
channel.
Pornhub channel.
No, but yeah, I'll
He
definitely
does movie reviews on his Pornhub.
Here's
Holy
what I
shit,
thought
what a
about-
movie! What
Here's
an
what I thought
idea.
about No Way Home. Oh. Oh man,
Corey
doesn't think we're funny.
Corey does not approve. Oh, he's not
We're
frozen.
just like,
is he?
fuck
Hey,
you guys.
dude, you're a fucking
I just-
statue.
I just forgot something that I had written down for the Prisoner of Azkaban movie.
Okay, before we move on to the next person, Adrian, would you
Wait.
like to share any of your many fun facts?
Wait, I think Corey wanted to address what he had written down for Prisoner of Azkaban. I think that's what he was saying. Doug's like, let's move on.
That was basically Doug saying, "Fuck that, let's go."
we have to go back to Prisoner.
All I wanted to say was, in the books, when Hermione stands up in the house and says, "If you want to kill Harry, you'll have to kill us too." In the books, that was a Ron moment, and it was one of his most badass moments. They gave it to Hermione.
Yeah, from what I understand, they kind of steal a lot of moments from Ron and
They
give it to
took a lot
Hermione.
from Ron, yeah. But that was one of the big ones that stood out to me. Now you can move on. I just wanted to say that. I forgot I had that written down.
Do you think they stopped doing that as they progressed and got older? I feel like Ron had his bigger moments.
Yeah, Ron definitely became more of a main protagonist.
Do you think maybe Rupert Grint just couldn't nail the scenes when he was younger?
That's very possible.
Yeah, maybe his chops weren't quite there yet. Because Emma Watson was a natural talent right away.
It would make sense for him to give it to one of the other kids if they were able to like impact the scene.
Well, obviously they couldn't give it to Daniel Radcliffe. He couldn't be like, in order to kill Harry, you got to kill us first.
Doug, as Ron says to Harry in Goblet of Fire, piss off. That's what I think of you for saying that.
Yeah, I like Hermione way more than I care about Ron. So.
Oh no, I think like as far as
she can have this.
As far as their acting, I think she's definitely better.
It also doesn't help that I was,
that's why
referred
she's
to as Ron
things.
for years and years and years and years.
Oh, you referred to as Ron? For anybody that can't see us, Doug looks like Ron Weasley
with the beard.
with a beard. Well, why don't we go to Mike next?
I thought you had fun facts.
I do have fun facts, but let me do those with my favorite and least favorite because...
Yeah, but you have like 10,000 fun facts. Just give us like one or two before we'll slip a few in between each person.
Adrian's fun facts.
It's time for Adrian's fucking fun facts. That's
fun facts.
If we have explosions and guitar solos, that's all I need. Adrian's facts. Excellent. No, wait, that's taken.
You're going to get in trouble for that one.
Hey, fair use covers, my friend. Fair use covers.
As long as it's 10% different.
I'll be reacting to this song. Okay.
Party time. Excellent. Fun facts.
Fun facts. Whoa, this is weird.
Good luck editing this one, Doug.
I know it's going to be hard.
So, since we were talking about the philosopher / sorcerer's stone, the first name before Chris Columbus was Steven Spielberg. He was actually going to direct this movie, but he had a falling out with She Who Shall Not Be Named.
Do you think that would have been any good?
I mean, well, it's Steven Spielberg. I think it would have been
Steven Spielberg
good.
has a mountain of great movies, but do you think he would have done this series right?
Here's the problem.
I don't.
If Steven Spielberg had done the first movie and he had done it well, they would have wanted to stick with Steven Spielberg. He has a very specific style, and he likes to take reins of what he does.
Oh,
if
yeah.
If it had gotten as big as the first one did, Steven Spielberg would have never veered from the movies. He would have done all 7 or 8, whatever he decided to do. And I think, yes, they would have been okay. But I like them more the way they are with different
I was going to say, to be fair, it's hindsight. You don't know. Maybe he would have stayed on and done his own thing and it collaborated with her and it could have worked.
You
can't just say like, I like it better the way it is because you don't know.
When you think of Spielberg movies, like you think of like, yeah, they have stakes and stuff, but they're always like more like a family friendly. Like, would he have been able to pull off the 7th movie where you have to kill off half the fucking characters that were introduced?
Is Jaws family friendly?
Let's not talk about Jaws.
Yes, it is, Mike.
Here's the problem. Here's what I have with Steven Spielberg doing the... Now I forgot because you were talking about Jaws and I fucking hate that.
Steven Spielberg doing the series or what? What are you going to...
I don't even remember where I was going to go with it now.
You seriously got him so sidetracked just by saying Jaws.
It's like, Jesus Christ, they're talking about Jaws.
Way to go, Mike. So the thing about Jaws is...
It's Corey's favorite movie.
Yep. And if you want to hear more about my thoughts on Jaws, go back to episode 1. I tell you which part of the movie I don't like.
And my guess is knowing She Who Shall Not Be Mentioned or J.K. Rowling, knowing...
Ew, you said it.
Knowing who she
Don't
is...
worry, I'll edit that out.
Knowing who she is, I'm guessing that's exactly why they had a falling out. I'm guessing both of these individuals were so stubborn about their vision. Like, she probably wanted this movie to be done how she wrote the books. I'm sure Spielberg wanted to be a little more dramatic, maybe, add some of his elements. And that's probably is why they had a falling out. I'm not saying I think it would have been better, but, there's a world where I would like to see it. We're in a world now with comic book movies and multiverses. Like, I'd like to see a multiverse with Spielberg.
I think it would have been better if Michael Bay directed it.
No, not for a second. I'm glad Adrian mentioned. Does he think he would like it better or not? Because that's the line. That's what I was thinking. Was you said we can't say we'd like it better or worse because we never saw his vision.
Yeah.
What I will say is the way it is now is perfect for me, so I don't want to see that other version. I don't care.
The first movie is your least favorite. So imagine if Spielberg did it, maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'd be afraid to lose that. Chris Columbus is magic.
Chris Columbus was perfect for those first two more like kiddie movies.
You guys are banking way too hard on the fact that I named that as my least favorite. I still fucking love that movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I don't want that one changed really either. It was just when I really sat down and thought about it, it was the only one I could put on the end of my list.
This is a decision I know none of us would have liked, including myself. Do you guys know who Spielberg's first choice was for Harry?
Elijah Wood.
Haley Joel Osment.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we need good child actors.
Whoa. He has the best child acting performance of all time.
Next to Macaulay Culkin.
But he was not Harry Potter. Okay.
So anyway.
No other strong opinions. Good, Mike.
Who's the dude that plays Neville?
It's Matthew
Lillard.
No, it's Matt.
I was going to say Perry.
You're right,
I was going to say Matthew Perry.
No, I have to say it out, even if you're my friends. Chandler, get the fuck out of here.
It's Matthew Lewis. Yeah.
It takes a greater deal of courage to stand up to your friends.
10 points to Gryffindor.
Thanks, Neville.
Dumbledore just giving Gryffindor the fucking win.
Every year.
Dumbledore double dick and Slytherin every year.
Extreme favoritism for sure.
Slytherin has won the House Cup by 500 points, but we must take into account Harry Potter exists. 501 points to Gryffindor.
And people think Draco couldn't kill Dumbledore in the end, man. He was holding all that in.
All those House Cups. You old son of a bitch.
6 years of this shit.
6 years of this shit. However, it must be taken into account. If Harry Potter would kill me, it would be worth more points.
Think about this too. How much more fucked up is it that Gryffindor's flags were flying before he did that, and then he changed them to Gryffindor?
Slytherins, you mean?
Or Slytherin, yeah, my bad. How much more fucked up is it that they were already hanging there?
That is terrible because
it's such a dick move.
Because Dumbledore knew exactly what he was going to do, and he hung it in front of their face.
Dumbledore's a dick. Are we sure he shouldn't have been a Slytherin?
Well, Dumbledore's kind of a dick. I mean,
what house was Dumbledore?
I'm assuming Gryffindor, but
I don't actually think that's true.
Dumbledore existed before houses.
I'm looking it up right now.
Well, actually, the next Fantastic... See, I haven't seen any of the Fantastic Beasts, so I can't say anything about those.
Dumbledore was in Gryffindor.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
What a loser.
Hey, fuck off. We're the best.
Around.
Gryffindor.
Robot House.
Jesus.
Doug, we're not talking about Futurama right now.
Oh, just wait for that episode.
You know what? We're not going to get a fucking word in that episode. I'm gonna try, but
I will.
That'll be Doug's time to shine.
A tour de force.
It's Brucey's time to shine.
I'm gonna have to use reason number 7. I'm like a statue.
Oh shit!
What that is in the future?
Wait, you're going straight to number 7?
That's it. Yep.
Yeah, we got to mix them up.
Wow. All right, Mike.
Well, my favorite book is Order of the Phoenix because I don't know. I love all of the training that Harry does with the secret. With they call it Dumbledore's Army.
Dumbledore's Army. The Secret Society.
Yeah. I obviously you hate Umbridge, but to see her get hers at the end, like towards the end, it's great. Like that whole scene in the Ministry, like that whole entire thing. I'm not even talking about the movie. Like the book, it's so much better in the book. That scene in the Ministry. The only thing
everything
that
about
I love
Umbridge actually is better in the book.
You mean the scene where Harry's trying to get like his suspension lifted?
Umbridge is
I'm
a
talking
bitch in the movie, but
yeah.
she's a fucking evil.
She's a
Yeah,
evil witch.
she's way worse in the books. But when she gets hers in the book, it's so much better than in the
So
movie.
much sweeter, yeah.
And
Yeah.
as far as the Ministry goes, that whole entire scene is written a lot better in the book. The only thing I like in the movie better, I think, is the actual like how well they did the fight scene between Dumbledore and Voldemort.
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
that's so
It
beautifully
was
done.
Great fight. Yeah.
that is.
Um,
You never see better wizarding before or after that moment.
and quite honestly, because of that scene, is the only reason that it's not my least favorite movie.
that scene
and
saves it enough to
that scene
it's not
saves it
your
enough
least.
because, and this is going to really upset Doug, but the 6th movie is my least favorite, only because I feel like it felt rushed.
the Half Blood
Opinion sucks.
Nope, sucks, bro.
I have a fun fact about them two fighting,
Yeah.
Okay.
or their two wands, the two wands that the Elder Wand and Voldemort's. I don't know if it has a name. I'm sure it
Two
does.
Wand
but
Fu, thanks for everything.
That's it. Two Wand Fu. Thanks. Sir.
Chew on food.
So the Elder
Too young,
Wand.
fat.
So the Elder Wand and two Wand Fu. Thanks for everything. They're the only two wands in the book that actually connect, that can connect in power and meet in the middle and kind of spark. They're the only two because of the cores of those. The Phoenix Feather that's in the core in the books is the only reason they can connect like that. Every other wand, it just goes through each other or strikes or stops completely.
Huh.
They don't connect at any other point in the books. It's only those two wands.
Are you talking about Harry and Voldemort's wands?
Yes.
Oh,
Harry.
It was Dumbledore.
Harry has the Elder Wand at the end there. Man. But yeah, in the movies,
Yeah,
in
that
the movies,
fight, that's the Elder Wand.
when Harry's
But-
fighting it, no, when he's fighting him in the graveyard, when
Yeah,
it
there you
connects like that,
Yeah.
that didn't happen in the books. It doesn't connect like that.
Oh yeah.
It's only those
Okay,
two
yeah.
wands in the books that connect.
Okay, cool.
I
But
thought we were
that
talking about
scene
7.
does
My bad.
scene does happen.
It does happen, but
the
it doesn't
fourth
connect
book.
like that. And like
No,
power
yeah, you're right.
Dragon Ball Z
Yeah.
power struggle with the power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as like favorite movie goes, I'm gonna have to go with what Corey said. It's definitely Prisoner of Azkaban.
It's just great.
It's my most like I've watched that one on repeat over and over again. And I mean, I'd give my reasons, but Corey's pretty much covered them all for me. So
My bad.
Yeah, Maddie.
Wow.
What? Wow. Also, I wanted to say, since we were talking about that real quick, the fight between Dumbledore and Voldemort, I love some of
Yes.
the choices in that fight too. Like from a movie perspective, they could have easily added like this epic music behind them,
oh, and
but
there's no music.
there's
yeah.
no music. All you
They
hear
did
is like the
amazing
spells
sound
forming.
effects.
You see like the
honestly,
flames.
The one sound effect when it does the water thing and it does
yeah,
the
like
drip
that's what I was gonna
sound.
say.
Oh
Yeah.
my god! It
If
gives
there
me
would have been
chills.
music there, that sound
You would have
fell
missed
flat.
all of that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that choice personally. It's something I didn't pick up the first time, but then like after rewatching the series a second time, I'm like, I really like that they didn't like make this over the top.
Because like a movie series like Star Wars would have put like some badass orchestra song in the
There were a
background.
whole orchestra, the whole fight.
Yep, you knew what I was talking about. Which, ironically, is my favorite Star Wars song.
I turned to Tiny Tim. They should have used Tiny Tim for Duel of the Fates. Tiptoe, tiptoe
Jesus.
through the lightsabers. And then also, since you guys are talking about Umbridge, fun fact. I was wondering about this quote, but now that you guys said she's much more terrifying in the books, totally makes sense to me.
She's twisted. Like
Yeah, the torturing is way worse in the books.
Yeah, because Stephen King said that Dolores Umbridge was the scariest villain since Hannibal Lecter, fictional villain. And in the movies, I'm like, I don't really see that. Like,
honestly, Kathy Bates would have played a good Dolores Umbridge. Full on misery.
If they had done the actual version of Umbridge, yeah.
Umbridge in the books always makes me think of the movie Misery. Like I'm not like that's just what I always thought of.
That scene, Adrian, where he's writing and it starts like carving into the back of his hand.
yeah, I must not tell lies.
That is a scene from the book, but it's way worse in the book.
Plus, she makes him do it a bunch of times, I think.
Yeah,
Like every day.
like to the
Yeah.
point where it's
Ooh.
scarred into his hand.
In the same, it does it in the same spot over and over. And over.
Ugh. She's just torturing him every day.
Yeah, because he refuses to fucking cave.
Well, you must not tell lies. Oh wait, he wasn't lying, was he?
I do love that in the movie, the delivery when he's like, "I'm sorry, Professor, I must not tell lies."
Yeah, I actually like their moment in the classroom when they're going back and forth. He's like, "So Cedric Diggory killed himself?" She's like, "What happened to Cedric Diggory was an accident. Voldemort is not back." Yeah, I love them going back and forth.
That's probably my second most hated change from the books to the movies is Umbridge, and just under the changes to Draco.
Which is sad because she nailed the role pretty good.
Yeah, the movie version's great if that's all you've seen.
Yeah, she's fine.
And even for me who's read the book, I still love her. But
they at least do a good job of making you hate the character.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's definitely still hateable.
Anybody who's ever seen Game of Thrones is going to understand. I hate her even more than I hate Ramsay Bolton. And he is one of the worst characters ever on anything.
And Doug's like,
you don't think Ramsay Bolton is bad?
No. I mean, Ramsay Bolton's so much worse.
I hate her more. I can watch Ramsay Bolton and at least smile at the crazy things he's doing, but every minute she's on screen in the movies, I fucking hate her. Almost to the point where I don't want to watch her scenes.
And another one of my favorite scenes is when the Weasleys freaking storm out in the brooms and they blow up everything.
Oh, that's great.
All of her little fucking like doctrines or whatever, her roles start falling down around them. That's perfect.
They're like, we weren't going to have a future in education, right? They're just like, fuck it.
They accepted their fate.
And then I love in the next movie, Ron's like, how much for this? They're like, 10. I'm your brother. 10.
Oh. I have a fun fact about that as well. Harry Potter's the one who gave them the money to start their store in the books.
And they don't really show that in the movies.
Yeah,
they don't show that in the movies.
Yeah, because Harry's fucking Mr. Moneybags.
He's loaded, yeah. They never really even mentioned that again either after the first movie.
Harry was like always trying to give them money and like take it, but they would never take his money and stuff either.
And then after that, they accepted it a loan from him.
They did do one little nice nod to that when it's in one of the later movies when the cart's going by in the Hogwarts Express.
Oh, Harry says, "I'll take one of everything." That's the first movie.
No, not the first movie. Later. Yeah, Ron reaches in his pocket to get like licorice twister, a couple things. He's like, on second thought, I'll just take the one thing. Harry's like, I got it. And Ron's like, no, I'll just take the one thing. Like, so it was a quick little scene.
In the books, in the Weasley shop, they tell Harry that he can take anything.
Because he's the one that gave him the money,
yeah.
That's cool. I love the Harry connection with the Weasleys. That's one of my favorite things about the movies. Like his adopted family.
I mean, he's basically like another son.
That brings up a question I have then that everybody seems to talk about. Do you like Harry and Ginny?
In the books, it definitely develops a lot more naturally.
Way more.
Well, he
actually
spends
makes
a lot
sense.
more time at the Weasley's house in the books.
In the movies, it feels forced.
They easily could have found a way in the movies to have Ginny around.
That is one of the things with my issue with the sixth movie is about feeling rushed.
Books or movies, I still think Harry should have just ended up with Hermione as the main character. It would have made more
I think he would have been better with Luna than Hermione.
Yes, Team Harry and Luna. Harry and Luna have a lot of like really good moments together.
I don't like Harry and Hermione together at all.
No,
the double H.
Actor-wise, Harry and Luna had way more chemistry, I think, than Harry and Hermione would have.
Yeah, I think my biggest issue was it is forced, him and Ginny, but I also don't really like the actress of Ginny. She doesn't really ever have emotion.
She doesn't get any of her, like, she's...
Right.
She's a lot stronger in the books.
Remember my disclaimer. This is only from the movies.
They secretly date an entire book in the books.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They don't tell anybody.
Morning.
Yeah, actually, the scene with the liquid luck, because that's the first in the movies. How does that end?
I do love that so much.
Does that end with him talking to the professor? Does it end with him going back to the house party?
Ends with him talking to the professor.
Yeah, they're down in Hagrid's hut, and Hagrid and the professor are drinking, and Hagrid passes out.
It is a great scene
because there's a in the book. There's a continuation of that scene where he goes back to the house and just goes up and kisses Ginny in front of like everybody.
Yeah, and everybody sees
it. Ron's right there,
time.
and you think Ron's gonna like flip out, and he's just like,
and he's just like, oh, whatever.
But in the books, as soon as Ron sees him, he says, "My best friend and my sister,"
because he's like drunk. Because they're drunk. Yeah, because they're drinking like butterbeer or something.
Get off my sister!
No, very different.
Ron, Ross. I mean, what's the difference?
Yeah, Ron, Red Ron.
Would you say it's fair
Red Ron.
that if they used the book approach, it wasn't forced? Would you
No,
say that's fair?
No.
I would 100% say that's fair.
The book actually, it's a
I choose
believable
not to answer.
relationship. The book, it's a believable relationship, and it's actually kind of a sweet story. So
I had to hit Adrian with would you say it's fair?
But in this case, I can't answer.
That is why I say, like, that is one of my biggest complaints of why I feel like the sixth movie was rushed, is they didn't do any of that. So like that whole thing that's kind of a major plot to the book.
I really like the Half-Blood Prince, though.
The book or the movie. I love the book.
Both.
The movie, I don't know. The movie
like
bugs
both.
me.
Well, let's get Adrian's. Let's let you get your favorites and least favorite out.
All right. I just want to say I like what they did with Draco in the Half-Blood Prince. They actually gave him some, like, he was forgotten about in these movies. Like after Chamber of Secrets, Draco was literally like the butt end of the joke. That was his whole purpose.
Yeah, I'd say Draco's
He was not a little
character
bitch in the
development really
books.
only took like a growth in the sixth
I
movie.
mean, he was
I'd
a
agree.
little bitch about the hippogriff.
Yeah, the hippogriff.
I'm
He was a
telling
little
my
bitch
father.
about that in the books just as much as in the movie. He
Yeah.
still got punched in the mouth in the
Hell
books just
yeah.
like he did in the movie.
But he wasn't the butt of the joke every movie. or
Oh
every-
yeah, no.
every book.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was actually.
Well, Doug said the thing that's his biggest negative with the movies is the
Yeah,
assassination of Draco's
I'll get
character.
to that. We'll get to that a little later because I'm sure we'll all have
We will get there.
characters we want to touch on.
All right, so real quick, before I get into mine, since we were talking about the Order of the Phoenix, so I don't know if you guys knew this, Arthur Weasley was supposed to die in the Order of the Phoenix, but she decided to keep him around because he was really one of very few good fathers portrayed in the series. Maybe the only like really
That's
good
true.
father.
Snape.
But he was never portrayed as good till the
I
end.
know he was a dick.
Yeah, Snape was a dick.
He was still a
Hey,
dick.
guess what? He was a dick and he was in Slytherin.
Mike, what did you think? Was the Dumbledore scene done well? Like when they killed Dumbledore? Did you like that? Or you don't really?
You know what? No, I do. I love the wands like coming up because they didn't do that in the book. That's like one of few things that they did differently from the book that I
Yeah.
liked.
Yeah.
There was more to the book after that scene though. Like I wish they would have went more into that. Like I don't know. There was just when I remember leaving the theater disappointed after watching that movie.
Is the movie accurate as far as like what Draco does? Like he's there and
Yes.
Snape does it, and Draco like Harry says in the
It's pretty close to the book.
because
Yeah.
at the end of the movie, Harry says to Hermione, she asks him like, "Do you think he would have done it?" And Harry says, "No, he was lowering his wand. He wouldn't have done it." Is that like in the book? Is Draco like lowering his wand, or
I don't remember specifically if he was lowering
or
his
does
wand.
maybe Snape just steps in so fast that
I truly believe because his mother, I feel like his mother's life was kind of on the line. I truly believe that pushed into it too like heavily, Draco
Yeah.
would have killed Dumbledore.
I don't think he would have.
you don't think he ever would have?
No.
Nah, I don't.
I don't think he would have either.
Here's Dumbledore. Dumbledore clearly must have thought that he would have because he told Snape he wanted Snape to do it because he didn't want Draco to go through that.
Yeah, right.
See, I interpreted that differently. I interpret that as he didn't want Draco to even have to like go through thinking about it or like trying to make himself do it or not do it. He made it easy for him because it's his student.
Yeah, because Draco is clearly like torn up that entire movie.
It was, and he knew it was just destroying him. So he just took it out of his hands, and so he didn't have to make that choice. That's how I take the scene.
That whole thing does create another twist that's brilliant in the series with Draco being the one that disarms him. So therefore, the Elder Wand actually belongs to Draco.
Yeah, it was very clever. Yeah,
that was.
Which is why Harry ends up with it. Yeah,
That is one of the reasons. I mean, I enjoyed the Half-Blood Prince just from the movies, but I really liked Draco in that movie. It made me want more of Draco in the early movies. Like, damn, the kid can act, and like his inner turmoil, like the struggle he was going through. I really liked that story.
yeah. Tom Felton's probably the biggest fan of like the movies and the books out of everybody that worked on it, hands on.
I will say, just like Corey, just because the sixth movie is my least favorite doesn't mean that I hate it.
Yeah, right.
Like I enjoy all the movies. It's just the one that I enjoy the least.
It's just the one you left feeling.
Yeah, like I felt like they could have done a lot more with it.
for some reason, when I left the Deathly Hallows Part 1,
David Yates.
when I left the theaters, I was a little disappointed. I was like, well, all they did was kind of walk the whole movie and talk. Not a lot happened, but the second time I went and saw it again in theaters because I'm that kind of nerd. Even if I don't like a movie, I go and see it a second and third time. But the second time I went and saw it, I fucking loved it and realized how wrong I was, and I must have had a headache the first time I went.
Yeah, I was gonna say a second viewing can do that. Ask Mike about Spider-Man, which we won't talk about.
Doug, the cliff notes of that is the first time Mike went, he told us he didn't like the movie.
He didn't say he didn't like it.
And I told him how wrong he was.
He didn't say he didn't like it.
He said he hated
there
the
were a lot of
movie.
things I had issues with.
He said, I hate this movie more than Breath of the Wild.
He said, dude, Willem Dafoe did not show up. He was just not good in this movie.
If anybody knows me, they know that I would never say that about Willem Dafoe.
He said, I would never say a bad word about Willem Dafoe.
We also have Mike lying on recording several other times, so take his word for it. Anyway,
we'll do a super cut of Mike's lies
for Patreon exclusive.
Patreon.
Anyway, so what are your favorite and least favorite books then, Adrian?
Or movies?
None of them. Favorite book, none. Least favorite, none.
I feel like Adrian has no opinion either way on that one.
I have no strong feelings one way or the other.
I'm gonna say my favorite is Breaking Dawn. My least favorite is
Oh my god,
Hunger Games Mockingjay.
Wait, Breaking Dawn Part 1 or 2?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so movies, books, whatever.
I hate to keep this trend going, but The Prisoner of Azkaban's my favorite movie. And fun fact, it is the lowest grossing in theaters out of any Harry Potter movie.
Wow,
it's a damn shame.
That is a damn shame.
The first two weren't the greatest.
That's the one that ramped it to a new level. Yes,
theaters.
but that tone of the third one changed so much. Maybe people didn't believe in it.
It wasn't Chris Columbus anymore. It was Alfonso Cuarón.
It wasn't as much of the magic.
I like how you said that.
Not magic as in magic in the movies, like cinema magic. It didn't have the sparkles and the lights, and I think that may have turned people off.
That's actually one of my favorite things about the movie I was going to talk about is the cinematography and the lighting in this movie. Like they did a really good job of letting us know that the series was starting to get darker. Like the first two movies are good fun. Neither one of them really feel that consequential to me or that high stake.
Well, until the end.
The end of the second one. Right. But then you get into The Prisoner of Azkaban and just everything gets darker. You get the fucking Dementors right near the beginning of the movie. And like that feels like a fucking something out of a horror movie.
One of the first Funko Pops I ever bought.
Nice. Yeah, me not knowing.
Dementor.
Dementor. Me not
fucking Draco.
Did you really pass out, Potter? Yeah, me not knowing that the Dementors were coming. Fucking, I was like, oh shit, here we go. Now we're talking.
Exactly.
Remind me, in the movie, did the Dementors?
They boarded the train looking for Sirius.
Yeah, okay.
And then Lupin was in their station. Yeah, Lupin was hiding under his jacket like the guy in Eurotrip.
Excuse me.
Every time I watch that movie, I say, "Mi scusi, mi scusi,"
Nice.
every single time.
And then Lupin comes out, "Mi scusi."
That's his Patronus.
Patronum.
Adrian,
Or Patronum, whatever it is.
Scusi Patronus.
Excuse me.
Adrian, if you had a mi scusi, what would it be?
Is that like asking me what my Patronus is?
Exactly.
Yes.
Fucking monkey. I don't know why. I just like monkeys. Is a monkey can that be a Patronus?
Anything that makes you happy, man. Patronuses are derived from a happy memory or whatever makes you happy. It could be anything.
Then it would be that scene in Happy Gilmore when he's thinking of his happy place. Shooter McGavin riding the little horse. That would be my Patronus.
The little person McGavin.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny.
Mini McGavin.
That'd be my Patronus. I know you're gonna help me on this one, Chubbs.
Mine would be his grandma making out with Gene Simmons.
Oh God! Find a happy place.
Bob Barker would just show up and call my opponent a bitch.
Yeah. So, Prisoner of Azkaban. Like I said, the cinematography, the lighting, probably my favorite in the entire series. The entire feel of the movie, just darker, more brooding. Stakes were raised. You get the introduction of Lupin and Sirius, two of my favorite characters. Isn't it crazy how much people... I mean, obviously the book readers for good reason, but Sirius is even loved so much by the moviegoers. And if you go back and watch these movies, he's only in like maybe an hour and a half of all the movies combined.
It's the Boba Fett Mandela effect.
I think it just speaks volumes to Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman, right. Oh yeah, he fucking knocks it out of the park.
Yeah.
Boba Fett is one of the most beloved characters in Star Wars, and until The Mandalorian...
And all he did was die, he just died in a Sarlacc pit.
Had 2 lines and got thrown into a Sarlacc pit.
What the fuck was up with his teeth, though, in Prisoner of Azkaban? Like, in that one scene, he looks like a deranged fucking lunatic, and then he looks completely normal.
He's been put in Azkaban and tortured for 12 years. I mean,
he broke out a super maximum security.
No, but I feel like his teeth even get nicer, like in the next scene.
I think they were just dirty because he's been hiding and eating what he could get. And
also, he's magic.
Well, that's true.
In this universe, magic's real.
Teethico Reparo.
Can you fix teeth? Because Hermione's parents were... never mind, they were humans. They were muggles. They were dentists. Yeah, I was going to say, do wizards need dentists? But they were muggles. They were muggles.
Not with Teethico Reparo.
They don't even need ingredients for food.
That's true.
That's true. That's actually not true. Another one of my changes. Another one of my changes. Another one of the changes from the book that I fucking hate.
The elves cook all the food.
Elves cook everything in the houses.
Dude, they literally
that food does not magically appear. Those elves are down in the basement slaving to cook their food.
They literally just removed the elves completely from Hogwarts. And you want to know why I give a fuck about the elves? Because one of the most iconic Ron Hermione scenes is when Ron sticks up for the elves.
Yeah, it's what makes her love him back.
He goes, what about the elves? And then Harry goes, what? You want them to fight for us? He's like, no, I don't want them to die for us. We need to get them out of here.
Hermione, there's a whole storyline in the book where Hermione is fighting for the elves to all be free and to stop being basically slaves.
Free elf.
Yeah, exactly. To stop being basically slaves for Hogwarts, and nobody will listen to her. It's why she's so mad the whole book.
Even elves look at her like, "What the fuck?"
Even elves are looking at her like, "We don't want to be free. What the hell are you talking about?"
Just go.
But Dobby enjoys being free, even though actually
that's because he was with the fucking Malfoys.
Master gave Dobby clothes.
In the books, the elves disown Dobby basically completely because he's free. He's like not one of them anymore. They don't accept him.
Yeah. He's like cast out.
Yeah, like
that's
creatures
just
like
not what that
Dobby.
race of creature does. They don't just.
You just said creature. He's one of them.
Creature. It's a shit kicked out of Sirius beats the fuck out of elves. Yet in the same breath, people are like, I love the elves. They're like, oh, Sirius is the best. Just kicks the shit out of his elf.
I'm just saying, Doug's always like, who gives a shit about the elves? But they really were a major plot line to the whole series.
I genuinely think you could remove them, even Dobby, and the movies.
How dare you ever?
You cannot remove Dobby. He's a major character in the second book.
Fucking say that again.
Now,
fuck Dobby.
What I'm gonna say for the moviegoers, which still isn't gonna be a popular opinion. I also don't give a fuck about Dobby.
Well, in the movies, Dobby's the Jar Jar Binks of Harry Potter.
No.
In the Chamber of Secrets, he's annoying as fuck. He does. Yeah, he is. But he does drop that big ass cake on.
That's true.
That was pretty sweet. Yeah, but he was just like so.
I'm getting 89 Batman mad at this right now. I can't believe you guys are saying this. Dobby's.
Your
was
face
he good in
turned
Chamber
red
of Secrets?
after I said that.
No, he was just as annoying in the book as he was in the movies.
Yeah.
I know he got more to do in the books, and I probably would have grown to love him more, but in the movies...
I just never cared much about the whole, elf subplot. Like, Hermione was always doing so much more interesting stuff. This was, the least interesting thing she did to me.
She was an elfitarian. Is that a thing?
Instead of, literally, going back in time to take 40,000 classes and learn everything and doing all this other crazy...
When did you get here? Did you see her come in?
It is ironic that in the books, she who shall not be named had a whole storyline about caring about people, though.
It's true. Speaking of Fun fact, taking it away from Adrian, she who shall not be named wanted to actually make Harry and Hermione together like a thing. So she agreed with you, Doug.
Well, she's wrong.
She said afterwards, like in retrospect,
Yeah, because it made sense.
I still ship Harry and Luna. In the movies, they had great chemistry.
I agree with you, Adrian.
Voldemort and Harry all the way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Voldemort and Harry all the way.
I vote for Harry and that Scottish Asian girl.
Oh, Cho. The girl he had a major crush on. I do love in the movie, and that this is also in the sixth movie. The sixth movie had great moments when Romilda Vane is trying to put the love potion on Harry, and she's like, she's only doing it because you're the chosen, or she thinks you're the chosen one. He's like, I am the chosen one.
He's like, well, I am the chosen one.
She smacks him with the book.
I love that.
Yeah.
Bring him back down to humble Harry.
He did that scene really well because the liquid luck thing really was basically like he just felt like.
But I am the chosen one.
Harry, why are you going to Hagrid's? I don't know. Hagrid's just feels like the place to be. Yeah, I love that.
Because of the benches.
Because of the implication.
Oh boy.
So what's your least favorite?
Well, okay, yeah, I guess we've said all we can say about Prisoner of Azkaban. I just want to keep talking about that movie.
Wait, I think we forgot a scene. Hold on.
I did also want to say I'm going to keep talking about it. I loved this was the movie for me where I really felt like Harry's internal struggle. Like, I've never seen Harry this hateful up to this point in the movies. Like, he wanted to fucking kill Sirius.
Especially when he finds out he's his godfather.
Exactly. He's like, I hope he does find me so I can kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that moment.
Well, that's because he thought he killed his parents.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. And I love that. I feel like in that moment, Harry was more fleshed out as a well-rounded character.
Yeah.
He wasn't just like, I'm the brave boy who lived.
It was his first big acting moment for sure.
It was, yeah. It's like he has more than just, I'm the brave kid. I fucking like, he has a depth of emotion. He gets angry. And I really like that. Draco gets punched in the face. That's really good.
Oh, that's true. That's a great moment.
I didn't hate the time travel aspect. You know, there's some movies.
The time turner.
They handled that.
The time turner. Well. Yeah, I really like the time turner scenes. There's some movies where I don't really care
Katie
about
a time turner necklace a couple years ago. She loves it.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool. And they didn't like abuse it. It was used for that one movie, that one plot, and that was it.
It's almost like Dumbledore said, okay, you're done, give me that.
You could fix everything with that. That's why they couldn't. You could literally fix everything that happens.
It's the old MacGuffin.
So you're telling me Back to the Future is a bunch of bullshit?
A bunch of bullshit?
Great line.
And then last, I just really enjoyed how Harry thought he saw his dad saving them from the Dementors. And after the time turner, he's the one that saved him and Sirius.
That was actually really cool.
He is his own father.
I'm my own grandpa.
Oh wait, that was
Harry. Me, yourself. I am your father.
If anybody listening knows what that reference is from, I'll be impressed.
Please let us know if you know what that reference is from.
I'm my own grandpa. Can you say that one more time?
I'm my own grandpa. If none of you know, I'm not going to tell you what it is because I legitimately want to know if anybody
if somebody knows, that's going to be awesome. My least favorites. Again, don't hate any of these movies. I like this movie more.
Oh, you have multiple. Okay.
No, I have one that really sticks out.
Least favorites. Oh shit, he's about to piss people off.
I enjoyed it more. My concurrent watch throughs. I really hated it the first time. Still, definitely my least favorite. Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah, something about Ron in that movie is just
Ron is a big point that I
very
fucking
off-putting in that movie.
Why does?
I would rather Ron be in the background than be a fucking caricature, which is what he is in this movie.
Oh, hey, spiders.
They upped his dumbness and naivety to an extreme level.
Yeah, just everything he says, the faces he makes. He's literally in this movie to be a fucking idiot.
Why couldn't it be Follow the Butterflies?
It's kind of like that in the book, though, in that one.
Well, I don't, I don't know.
And this isn't at you. This is more at these two.
Yeah, okay.
Even being accurate to a book doesn't always play well on screen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true.
I think that's a case of that to me.
I just don't think it really took away from his character.
It didn't take away from it. It was just off-putting.
That's fair.
Hey, at least he was willing to fly the car.
Yeah, that's true. And also, this movie was fucking, if I'm remembering right, 2 hours and 43 minutes. It was longer. It
It's
was
a long
longer than future movies in this series that had more to say. Like, this was just way too stretched out. They could have cut a half hour off this easy. I probably would have enjoyed it more. I fucking hate
Wow.
Moaning Myrtle or Moaning Myrtle. Oh, that is the most cringe character to me in the entire series.
Yeah, she doesn't bother me.
I fucking hate her. Every time she's in a scene, she's also in, I think, Goblet of Fire, when Harry's trying to get the egg underwater. I skip past that scene because I hate her so much.
Moaning Myrtle.
Oh no, please don't
Wow.
do that.
Adrian, you might have just made me hate Chamber of Secrets more than Half-Blood
It
Prince.
made more. Her character made more sense when they had all the other ghosts still around, but they cut them all
Exactly.
out, so it was just her.
Like Peevy the prankster. Dude, he's all through the fucking books.
I heard
making,
he's a big
just
part.
pranking. Yeah, he's pranking people constantly. Yeah, there's a whole storyline where Nick doesn't get invited to the dance, the ghost's ball, and
Because the headless ball.
Nearly headless. How can you be nearly headless?
Yeah, but like they just cut all the ghosts out except for Rowena Ravenclaw and
nearly headless Nick.
and
That was just an
Myrtle.
excuse to put John Cleese in there somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he was only in the first one, and then they cut him out. That's what I mean. They were in the first one.
Mike, keep your point because I want to hear this.
The fact that Chamber of Secrets is 2 hours and 41 minutes and Order of the Phoenix is only 2 hours and 18 minutes actually pisses me off a lot. And I think it makes Chamber of Secrets my least favorite movie now.
It does take away from the fact that they could have made Goblet of Fire longer and made their all their trials to get to the final
The
thing.
Triwizard
They could have
Tournament.
made
Yeah.
them a little longer. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I personally wouldn't have mind
So much
seeing.
anger right now.
I wouldn't have mind seeing the other wizards like face off against the dragons, like where they
Oh,
just
yeah, that'd
really
be
showed
cool.
Harry's moment. Which I get why they did that, but
I don't remember. Did they actually flesh that out at all in the books? Did they flesh their battles with the dragons in the books? I don't think they went too into detail.
I mean, they were just as long, I think, in the movie.
fucking Rita Skeeter.
They didn't. I don't think they really talked.
yeah, they didn't really talk about like
about the other ones
Cedric
fighting them,
and
I
Crumbs
don't think.
fighting and Floor. They didn't talk about them
Okay.
too much.
That always made me a little uneasy, that Rita Skeeter scene with Harry when she's interviewing him.
Oh yeah.
Like at first when
She's-
they're in that little broom closet and she's like, oh, this is a broom closet. You should be familiar with this. But it's like just the way she is with him is she's like kind of flirty, which I know that's her character, but like he's 14 years old
Yeah,
and she's really
He's
flirty
the
with him.
chosen one.
Everybody wants a piece.
Chosen one.
It's okay to want a piece, Laverne. Everybody does.
I
JD.
am the chosen one.
Yeah, and then in the same context of Goblet of Fire, you have Victor Crumb who's playing like he's like the best seeker in the world or whatever, and he's in a professional league.
But he's still in a wizard school.
But he's into Hermione, and she's 14, and he's at least how old is
So
he?
he's 17.
Is he 17?
Yeah.
Victor
Okay.
Crumb in the books is actually a huge sports star, and Ron Weasley is obsessed with him.
Yes.
They kind of show that in Goblet
They
at
kind
the
of make a
beginning.
mention to that in the beginning, and then he hates him because of
He
Hermione.
hates him, right?
But he has like holographic cards of him and shit. in his
Yeah,
room,
like
got
he's
pictures
a
of him.
lot more obsessed
Posters
in
and
the books.
everything.
No, we would not like to go with you and Victor.
Victor.
Oh man. No, but what was I talking about? Chamber of Secrets. Yeah, so Ron's a fucking caricature. Hate Moaning Myrtle. Movie's way too long. Could have been more effective with a half-hour cutoff.
Hermione's
And-
not in it long enough.
And like, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right, because she gets paralyzed or whatever.
Petrified.
Petrified, yeah. And then, like Doug already mentioned, Dobby annoyed the shit out of me.
Yeah, I don't care about the elf plot line either.
I can't
so.
believe you've changed my opinion. I that has never happened before.
Chamber of Secrets, right? It's.
The
I'm not
history
saying
of
it's
us
not-
Adrian,
recording episodes
Adrian.
so far.
He just said his opinion's never been changed.
Not in an episode.
You know what, Doug? I'm going to choose to believe that because I look good here.
I will.
Let it be known, I'm the first person in history to change Mike's opinion on anything, not just this podcast. Anything.
What's
Just-
up? What's
just
up,
in an
Corey?
episode.
Mike, don't say that.
What's up, Corey?
Let
What's
me
up,
have
Corey?
this.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Mike just doesn't usually realize he changes his opinion because it happens so fast.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Anyway,
I can't fault Mike for taking this opinion. It's the right opinion.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. So same with all the positives about Prisoner Azkaban. I could talk about all day. I could keep going about Chamber of Secrets and what really doesn't work for me. Still a good movie. Like I said, I enjoy it more on rewatches. But for the reasons I pointed out, Definitely my least favorite in the series by a pretty wide margin. Just going to throw a couple fun facts at you before Doug takes the helm here. And I think this will be my last few. Kind of curious what you guys think about this. So, near in either the 6th or 7th book, She Who Shall Not Be Mentioned, considered killing Ron. Wondering what you guys think
I heard about that.
I support that decision. She should have done it.
That would have been super impactful.
I feel it would have been super powerful for the story, and it would have made Harry's defeat of Voldemort way more impactful.
And then Harry and Hermione could have ended up naturally.
No, yeah, Hermione and Neville would have got together then.
I support Hermione and Neville.
Well, we did all see how that actor grew up, so.
Yeah, he's a good-looking lad now.
Best looking one out of them all.
That's called a glow up.
I had no idea as a child actor they had him in a fat suit for all his scenes.
Did you?
I know, that's crazy.
They continued to try to make him remain ugly, like even as he got older, because they're like, you got to look ugly. You can't look attractive.
Corey, what do you think he's dying of? A case of the handsomes?
Oh, Scrubs. Let's do another Scrubs episode.
Yeah, right.
We will.
Oh, we will.
In time.
When I watch it.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this the last time we tried to record this, but I'll do it again since we're recording. This was one of my favorite facts I learned. So Rupert Grint, he sent in a video audition of him rapping about being Ron. That's how he got cast as Ron Weasley.
That's ambition right there, man.
I'm pretty sure he did it in his middle school gym class or grade school, whatever they call it.
That is totally Ron.
Right.
Yeah.
In that same vein, the actress that played Luna got her role by writing a letter to her about wanting to be Luna, and it was just that's how she just is in real life. Like the actress is.
Yeah.
Like
see, what I heard is that she loved the series so much, and she loved the character that she wrote in a letter.
Yeah,
and then she got the audition without them even knowing that she was the one that wrote that letter.
Oh, see, I didn't know that part. Okay.
Yeah. And if that's true, I mean, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's even crazier.
Yeah. And then lastly, this is another one of my favorite facts. Like I was talking about with the Prisoner of Azkaban, Alfonso Cuarón, just so he could get a better feel for these characters, he asked the 3 main characters to write an essay about their said characters. Radcliffe wrote 1 page. Emma Watson wrote 10 pages, and Rupert Grint didn't do it.
Hey, I think that tells you everything you need to know.
That nails all 3 of them.
That's literally their characters.
That's why Rupert Grint's one of my favorite actors that was in those movies. He's
right.
Rupert Grint didn't do it.
He didn't do it. He said he forgot about it and he was going to do it last minute. He's like, but this is more fitting. Ron wouldn't do it.
It's funny because I've actually looked into all those characters, watched all kinds of interviews, and I think of all of them, Rupert Grint's probably the one I'd hang out with and like,
for sure,
drink a beer with and be like, dude, you're awesome.
Have some ice cream with.
Yeah.
It was like Alan Rickman talked about. Yeah, Rupert was drawing a picture of me, and I made him sign it and give it to me after he was done, and I still have it, and I'm quite fond of it to this day.
That's awesome.
It was like a
always.
Always.
Oh, I love Alan Rickman.
Hey, Alan, how long will you be fond of that picture?
Always. I'll do my least favorite. My least favorite is probably I was torn between 1 and 2 like this whole time. But I think it is 2. Yeah, I think it is 2. And it's mostly because I don't really care. Like Dobby annoyed the shit out of me in the book and in the movie.
Lisa Dobby.
Corey's over here literally face turning red.
Because the most impactful death in that entire series is when Dobby dies to me.
Misa Dobby Binks.
Please.
Oh, I didn't give a shit.
It destroyed me.
Yeah, not one of the twins.
Literally, when that knife
I don't give a shit about Fred and George. I give a shit about Dobby.
When that knife went through that portal, he was the only one I was hoping it hit.
Like,
okay, fair.
He said, "Well, that's fair."
Anyway, but yeah, 2 did have things that I like. Honestly, like 1 and 2 to me are like hard to go back and rewatch. Like when I rewatch the series occasionally, like I consider just skipping and starting with 3, because wow, Corey's really upset. Yeah, I'm sorry. Your like face literally turned a different.
It did go a different shade, went like 3 shades darker.
I
If it
told
was
you,
the
man.
if it was the Dr. Payne scale, he went from like a 4 to a 7.
No, don't worry, Corey.
They would give you heavy medication, right?
I will never skip Chamber of Secrets because of that badass basilisk scene.
Yeah, it's great.
Basilisk scene. Wow.
Oh, there are things I like, but go ahead, Doug.
I liked the whole. I actually liked how Hermione was petrified, so Ron and Harry had to fucking solve a problem
Without her.
and do something
true.
for
They had
once.
to-
Although
They had to
they
do something.
technically still figured it out because of her,
Yeah,
because
that's
they
true.
found the note in her hand.
The big brain.
She still did it.
She literally solved every complex problem in that entire series.
But I mean, every group of friends has that friend, so
Yeah,
not
and that's
unbelievable.
fine. But I just wanted to see if Harry and Ron could, function and breathe on their own at a certain.
Barely.
Well, Ron, yeah, he blew himself up. They got hit. They got the shit kicked out of him by a tree, wrecked a car. Yeah. I'll move it along. We can shit on 2 later or another day.
This won't be the
Anyway.
only time we talk about Harry Potter.
My favorite book. Actually, it's different for the book and movie. For the book, it is 6, hands down.
Yeah, it's a great book. It's my second favorite.
My second favorite too.
I love the book that Harry going through the journal, essentially the textbook of the Half-Blood Prince, and he's like learning all this shit, doing well, pissing off Hermione. She knows he can't fucking do any of this shit.
I love the reveal when you find out that it's Snape's book.
I love when he accidentally used the one spell and almost fucking kills
Draco, yeah.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
And that's when
Even
Snape
in the movie,
realizes.
I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, that's what Snape realizes.
I was shocked in the movie, like that they kept that and it was way more brutal than it sounded in the book. Like
Right.
when all that blood
Yeah.
started just.
Oh yeah. You dare use my own spell against me, Potter?
Oh yeah, and then Snape basically showing off that he's a fucking G and knows his shit.
Oh yeah.
Like up till then, like you knew Snape was like a kind of a badass and trusted by Dumbledore. You didn't know he was like fucking
Literally
Top
creating his
tier.
own spells.
yeah,
Yes,
like
totally.
literally he rewrote the potions book. Like
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. And why the fuck did Harry use that spell without knowing what it was on somebody?
Because he has been blindly following that book the entire time. So
He
he
just,
probably
assumed it wouldn't let him down.
he was gonna get put in Slytherin. He was cunning
Yeah.
and ambitious.
How are you doing that? You have to crush it, not cut it. No, the book clearly says cut it.
Yeah, he cheated a lot. I would have done the same thing with that book, though. No lie.
If that book was getting me all these good grades, I'm like, well, this is happening.
What do your parents do, Hermione? They're dentists. Silence.
Fascinating.
Yeah, fascinating.
But yeah, like it's my favorite book. It just I loved like learning more about Snape and his complex character, especially after the way 5 went and like he's suddenly protecting them and shit when you always thinking he was like a bad dude. Then the way 6 ends, obviously, and then he is like, I'm a bad. Oh no, I am. I'm just gonna murk this guy, and you're just like, what the fuck is going on?
I'm a Death Eater.
Yep, fuck you all. I'm peacing out. Bye. And then he just peace up. But I'm considering the 7 part 1 and 2 is just one movie. For the
Me
sake
too.
of this, it's my favorite of the movies just because of how much is going on.
It might be my favorite ending to a series ever.
I still think it's bullshit that he breaks the Elder Wand and throws it down the fucking thing.
He doesn't do that in the book.
Nope.
I kind of liked it in the movie that he did though.
Showed he didn't give a shit about the power.
So wait, in the book, I know he fixes his wand with the Phoenix Feather. Then what does he do with the Elder Wand?
he takes it back to Dumbledore's grave.
Okay,
Puts it in.
but then you always leave that temptation there.
Exactly. Well, the intention being that it's his. If he can't, nobody can disarm. Nobody else can ever own it if he just leaves it there.
That's true.
'Cause
But somebody else can wield it. They just won't have the power.
Do you not remember just what it did to Voldemort when he was wielding it and he didn't own it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah, you can't fully wield that wand unless you're the
It'll
one
break.
who disarms it out of Harry's hand.
yeah, that's
So
right.
he,
It was
ta-
like
he takes it
cracking.
back to the grave that way. He never has it in his hand again.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just so many cool scenes in the 7th movies, though. Like just Neville's like epic speech and chops Snape in half.
yeah, I
That was
love
the
that.
shit,
Dude,
man.
that fucking the dragon coming up out of the Green Gots.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that.
I did love that Neville got his moment.
And you find out he was like he was holding down the fort and basically being like the de facto leader while Harry was missing.
He's the only one brave enough to stand up and tell Voldemort to fuck off.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Oh, damn, my man, we're so limited on time.
Yeah, they also don't they don't go into enough about Neville's parents in the movies. That's another gripe
That
I have
too.
with them.
There's a lot
'Cause
about his
they're
parents.
literally they were tortured to madness and are in,
By
like,
Bellatrix.
There's a
magic
scene in the
insane
book where
asylum,
they show them in the asylum. Yeah,
and they're fucked.
Yeah, and two things real quick about part 7, part 2, whatever you want to call it. I know it's probably the same way in the book, but I thought how powerful would it have been when Voldemort called Draco over if Draco stayed with his classmates? Like, I thought that would have been a really cool moment for him. I understand why he didn't.
It took away from his feeling like he was changing.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I mean. If he would have stayed by his classmates when like Voldemort's like, "Come, Draco," I would have loved if he stayed.
I think he would have killed him immediately, though.
He probably-
I feel like
probably
there's
would've.
some blunders with that character's writing.
Yeah.
In the long run, Draco will always be about survival, and he knew surviving
he's a
was to go
Malfoy
with his
after all.
family.
And then, other than that, I just wanted to say, don't you think Neville should have got to kill Bellatrix? Wouldn't that have been so fitting for what she did to his family?
I don't know. I think it was badass that Molly did it.
Molly didn't do that in the books.
Who did,
No.
or what happened?
I don't actually remember, to be honest.
Okay,
It's been so
but
long.
Molly didn't
But
kill her?
Yeah,
It was
that was all for
badass in the movie to have Molly do it, but it made way less sense for Molly to do it
Yeah.
than to have Harry kill her.
Or
He was
Neville.
trying to get
actually-
to her, or Neville.
Both versions revealed that she was killed by Molly Weasley during the Battle of
Oh, that's
Hogwarts.
right. Molly did do it, but they didn't show it. Or
They didn't
talk
show
about
it in
when
the
it happened in the book.
books.
Okay. I just would have loved that moment for Neville. He deserved it. But he got his moment with Nagini.
He definitely did.
I don't think they wanted Neville to be like a fucking Stone Cold killer.
They kind of
That's fair.
hinted that Neville could have been like one of Godric Gryffindor's like ancestors, or whatever the reverse of
he
an
was
ancestor
the other
is.
potential chosen
He was
one.
the chosen one, right?
Yeah, that was actually mentioned a lot.
So they hinted at that, but they didn't want him to look like the badass because the movies aren't called Neville Longbottom and the blah blah blah.
That book series would have never sold.
That's
Neville Long,
That's the comedy book series.
Neville Long,
Captain Underpants, the story of Neville Longbottom.
Neville Longbottom, and the standing up to your friends.
The Kurt Power
Neville Longbottom and
Girl.
Captain Underpants take to Manhattan.
Neville Longbottom and breaking your arm when learning to fly. Did you see if he wouldn't have fell on his fat ass? Give it back,
Jesus.
Malfoy.
Before we run out of time, I got to mention a couple of my favorite things that really stood out to me.
Yep.
I know there's
Is,
so many moments. How do we do this? We're 2
so
hours in and
many.
we haven't gotten to so many moments.
We're just talking about what we enjoyed.
Oh,
about
no,
the
I- no,
series
I-
with the-
No, I'm enjoying it. I'm just saying it's
Two of
crazy
the-
That's why
how
there
much-
will be more Harry Potter episodes.
There will be more. Go,
We
Corey.
actually talked about a lot of my favorite moments, but two that we didn't talk about yet was when Hermione erases her parents' memory to protect
Oh,
them.
yeah.
It's heartbreaking. Just watching
All the
of her
photos
just
and
disappear from all the
everything.
photos, and just knowing they don't know about her anymore, but she still remembers them, and it's just that's heartbreaking.
That is a testament to how strong of a witch she really is.
And how dedicated she is to protecting them and saving the world. But the other one is Harry gets out of line and looks at Snape and says, "How dare you stand where he stood?"
Oh, that whole sequence.
Oh my God. Just that line chills every time.
Yeah, for sure.
He's so mad at him for standing there.
Such a great line delivery.
It was. How dare you can really see how much he progressed as an actor in that moment. How dare you stand where he stood? Tell him what happened. And then to go right along with that, fucking when McGonagall stands in the way and fights Snape, you can just see the pain in Snape's eyes, like he doesn't want to pick his wand up against her.
Why do you think he disappears? He says, "Fuck this, I'm out."
You're right.
He didn't want to have to
Because
do that.
honestly, I think he would have fucking wiped the floor.
He
with
would
her.
have owned her for sure. And he knew that.
Are we talking about the scene in 7?
Yeah.
Where she comes.
Yeah, where they're in the school.
He literally deflects her shots into the other Death Eaters to protect them and escapes without taking a hit. So
Yep,
he knocks
exactly.
out the two guys without revealing he's with them. He
Right.
could have fucking killed everybody in that room.
Oh, for sure.
Snape might have been probably one of the most underrated wizards that people don't like. He's one of the strongest. In
I
the
personally
series.
think Snape was the strongest wizard.
I don't
in
think
the
he was
entire
stronger
series.
than Dumbledore or Voldemort. They
Well,
were
other than the
on another
obvious
level.
two, but I think
Yeah.
he was the strongest. outside of them.
He was the Mace Windu.
Harry
Yeah.
was never.
Except he didn't get his hand.
Harry
cut off.
was never like a top level.
No, he was just the chosen one.
He just had the right time, the right place, right situation.
Hermione would kick his ass in a wizarding duel.
Oh yeah, Hermione would probably actually fuck up most of those characters. To be
Right.
fucking Ron definitely sucks at magic.
Oh, for sure.
With or without his broken wand.
I know.
Oh, he's better with magic with the broken one. Just fucking backfires.
I love when he's going to cast the spell with the broken wand, and they're like, maybe you shouldn't.
Maybe you shouldn't.
I still love when dude. That is one of the redeeming qualities of Chamber of the Secrets is Gilderoy Lockhart after his memory is completely wiped.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I like to Gilderoy the entire
Who are
movie for
you?
the pretentious
Who am
douchebag.
I?
Do you live here?
Yeah, he just looks up. Who are you?
Which, by the way, when they show Neville's parents in the insane asylum in the books, or sorry, show,
Gilderoy's there too,
when they
right?
talk about it, Gilderoy's also there, like talking to nurses and stuff.
Oh,
He's
He's been there the whole time since he erased his own memory.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was really good at memory charms.
Yeah,
it was too good.
Gilderoy is actually one of my positives of Chamber of Secrets. I love him.
Oh yeah, he's
I know he's a
hilarious.
douchebag, but I love him for
He
it.
turns his arm into jelly.
He was
basically.
the only defensive deck against the Dark Arts teacher that wasn't like.
Wasn't a villain. but
Yeah, he was comic relief.
He was.
And I'm also a sucker for the everybody thinks I'm the great. I have the whole world convinced I'm this great. Fucking,
Yeah, you like Hercule.
hero.
We know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love Hercule. I love Hercule. Gilderoy is
Gilderoy Lockhart is literally the Hercule of the Harry
I
Potter
love
world.
that character. I always do. It's a guilty.
I don't know,
pleasure.
Harry Potter. After my stomach's feeling better, I'm gonna.
Oh, it's all done with mirrors.
After my stomach's feeling better, I'm gonna kill this basilisk.
It's not real anyway. It's all.
And you know what? I can
Smoke
see
and
him
mirrors.
saying that line, so he is the Hercule of the Harry Potter world.
Oh, if I just had my wand, I could totally help you guys with that basilisk.
Yeah, but I know we're about out. And Doug, you were talking about the Deathly Hallows, but obviously the scene that everybody knows, the Snape scene, the memory, so heartbreaking.
Oh yeah, when Harry realizes shit.
He's the one that led Harry to the Sword of Gryffindor with his.
He was the one that shot the Patronus out. He led him to this. He's the one that dropped the sword there for him to collect.
You've raised him like a pig for slaughter.
When you say it with that accent, it sounds so funny.
But how heartbreaking is that to find out that Dumbledore basically was?
Yeah, Dumbledore wasn't a great guy.
He wasn't a good guy.
Dumbledore's entire his entire purpose was to get rid of Voldemort, and getting rid of Voldemort required Harry to die.
It did.
It required some sacrifices.
He didn't have any emotional attachment to Harry. He knew that he had to be protected till the time was right, but that's all he cared about.
I don't question what he did, but he's just kind of. If you see him as a straight good guy, you're being blind.
Oh yeah, you're crazy.
We do
You're
have
crazy.
to get to one more question before we end this, and we're running out of time.
All right, ask that question.
Of the
You're
Deathly Hallows, which one would you choose?
right. Do you want to go first?
Ooh.
Michael Gambon. Oh wait, we already talked about this.
You mean Richard Gambon?
Are we putting the time turner in there? I know it's not a Deathly Hollow, but let's just do the Deathly Hollows.
Just the Deathly Hollows.
Time
Just stick to the
Turner. I
Hollows,
think
yeah.
I would pick that if it was part of it. But
Okay,
Yep.
too easy.
honestly,
too
me myself, I'd probably take the cloak.
Yeah.
I would take the wand. I'm a
How about you,
fucking
Mike?
Slytherin, okay? I'm cunning and I want the power.
Yeah,
Okay,
but listen,
Hufflepuff.
as a Slytherin, if you took the cloak, do you realize how much you could get away with?
Power.
Adrian literally has a Slytherin hat on and got Hufflepuff in the
I know.
quiz.
Love it.
It's beautiful.
Apparently I need to send this hat to some other people.
What about you guys?
Yeah, Mike. What
Definitely the
Hall?
cloak for me. Like I said, I wouldn't use it for good. All the shit I could get away with doing
I'd use it for
evil dick moves. I would use it for dick moves.
I mean, when you're
the
talking...
stranger has a whole new
When you're always taught, people always have the question, what superpower would you want? Obviously, invisibility's up there with flight for, the one.
Oh, yeah.
Screw that. That's so
Yeah,
lame.
mine. That's not even mine.
But, I want the wand. I want the power in my hand.
Yeah.
The resurrection stone sucks. I mean, all it
fuck
does
the
is
resurrection stone.
it sucks.
See, it would be nice to cheat death, but I want the wand as well because with enough power, I'll make my own resurrection stone.
I'd take the resurrection. That's cheating.
We'll make
That's
our own
wishing for 3
podcast.
more wishes. I'd take the resurrection stone and bring back Alan Rickman because I miss that man every day.
The resurrection stone doesn't even bring you back to life, right? It's for family members and.
No, it can bring you back to life, but Voldemort was going to use it to bring himself back to life.
No, Harry used the resurrection stone to conjure his family and Sirius and Lupin, and then he drops it in the ground, and it's like it doesn't have its power. He drops it in the ground before Voldemort Avada Kedavra.
It was something about showing you.
All Voldemort did was kill the Horcrux, right?
It wasn't exactly clear what the resurrection stone did.
The only thing,
let's
just say fuck the resurrection stone. I like that answer. That was it.
Fuck that res thing. Yeah, give me power.
I'll take the Sorcerer's Stone to make to be an immortal bitch.
The Resurrection Stone is the Sorcerer's Stone, isn't it?
No, they're different. The Sorcerer's Stone was made by Nicholas Flamel.
I use the stones to destroy the stones.
Yeah, that's true.
There were multiple Sorcerer's Stones.
They seem very, very similar. Like, because the Sorcerer's Stone would give you life. Like, the whole reason that Voldemort wanted it was for
But
that.
they look way different.
They do.
The Philosopher's Stone is a legendary thing in alchemy that is
you use it. You use it to make a potion of what? Immortality.
Well, Nicholas Flamel does use it to live forever, basically. So, and then he ends in the books. He ends up giving it up to Gandalf. Wow,
Gandalf the Grey.
he gives it up to.
I was
Dumbledore.
waiting for that to happen,
dude. The whole time I've been waiting for that to happen. But anyway, in the books he gives it to Dumbledore, and he literally kills himself to give it to Dumbledore.
And unfortunately, that is all the time we're gonna have. Any last words before we close this thing out?
Yeah, so I have been reviewing the Harry Potter movies on my YouTube channel, Baker Reviews, if you don't know. And I got through The Prisoner of Azkaban. Turns out December was a pretty busy month for movies, so I've had a lot of other projects going on, but in January I will be getting back, starting with Goblet of Fire. So check out some of my videos at Baker Reviews.
It's come to our attention, we haven't been bright enough to share our email yet, where you can contact us and let us know anything you like about the show, don't like about the show, or just want to give Mike any shit. Then you can contact us at cultureshocked17@gmail.com.
Thanks, Matt.
Is there any other place they could give Mike shit?
Yeah, make sure you check out my Twitch channel at Mike's Nostalgia. That's Mike in like the word lichen for I'm a hairy bastard. I stream every Saturday between 6 and 8 Eastern time. That's 3 to 5 Pacific. Come watch as I play older games that will get that nostalgia flowing.
That was a stellar first plug, Mike.
We're clapping because that's his first really good plug.
Anyways, that's going to bring us to the end of the show. If you're still with us, thanks for listening all the way to the end. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to the show if you like what you heard, and join us next week from all of us at Culture Shock. Thanks for listening.
Mischief managed.